Why, hello, everybody. Welcome to Phonogenics 101 with a special edition, the reunion with the Madonna crew. We have a new special guest tonight, but before we introduce everybody, thank you to the people that subscribed to my Patreon. Boy, I just renewed my Zoom, and it was so nice that it didn't come out of pocket. So thank you so much. Like I said in my other two podcasts this week, we're never going to have those terrible product placements that they do in other podcasts. We're just staying grassroots. So if you got some money to throw it in my direction. My Venmo, my Patreon. I'm a material squirrel, everybody. Okay. Thank you to the YouTube subscribers. And then, most of all, thank you to my friends. And thank you to Madonna for finally putting out something that we all like. No, I'm just kidding. There goes all my subscribers. Okay, so everybody knows David, Jeffrey, and Sharon from the past Madonna episodes, but we have a new guest here, Paul. Paul, would you like to tell a little bit about yourself for our viewers tonight?
Hi, my name is Paul. If anyone does recognize me, it could be for many different reasons and by different names, but singer-songwriter, mess maker, Madonna fan. My 40th birthday will be July 28th of 2023. Her first album came out the day before. So I'm trying to get my friends right now to organize a full-on party that's going to lead into my birthday. Call me fucked up, but I am a Leo, and I think there is some connection because for a lot of us, she's been that mother thing that everyone called the slut and nasty, and I'm like, but she makes me like this heartbeat thing inside of me. Heartbeat. So, but also, there's more to me. I produce a drag show, Closet Case. I've done that for 10 years. Put music out under Pocket Tanya. Just check out Jeremy's song.
Yeah, he's on my new video.
Right. And I'm just excited to be here because I could not just talk about, but listen to people talk about Madonna forever. So, yay, here we go.
All right, and before we move on, Jeffrey, you have a new book to promote, don't you?
Yes, I'd love to show you. It's called Beware of Dog.
Beware of Dong?
Yes, and it is about two lovers, Jared Whitney and Sergio Valenzuela, who fall in love quickly and might not make it. We'll see.
Okay.
You have to read the book to find out what happens. Okay. It's actually kind of depressing, I have to say. It does have a little bit of humor. Usually my stuff is funny, but this is a little bit on the depressing side. But
all right.
Anyway.
Well, thank you for promoting your book. If anyone's interested in me, I have a new music video out called Ain't Nobody I've Met Yet. You'll see Paul in the video doing some really great facial expressions, among other things. That
looked a lot of fun. It looked like you had a lot of fun.
It looked like I ate way too many tacos during COVID with that jumper on, but you know what? I just work the fat. I don't care. I do not care.
Finally enough tacos.
I'm gonna go get some tacos.
It's never enough.
Ever since this album came out, literally, anytime any word comes up, I'm I'm having coffee. Finally enough coffee. Yeah.
Never enough coffee.
So Madonna, it's been an interesting few years. It's been an interesting decade. You know what I mean? Last decade was interesting. She finished the Madam X era. She got a hip replacement, right? Or something happened. She finally lost the eye patch, but in losing of the eye patch, she got some booty implant, and then she straightened her hair. So there's a lot of pictures with that new straight hair, a lot of Kardashian-ishness, and then there was the era of the Frozen remix where she released 20,000 different Frozen remixes with a bunch of unknowns, and they were all just
special.
Just what are you disgusting? What are you saying?
I mean, they weren't bad. They were just there. I don't know. Okay, but then Madonna on her Instagram started talking about the remix revolution. She was in the studio with Mike Dean, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, what's going on here?" I think we all had these fears that there's gonna be remixes of all 50 of her club hits done by Sidekick or whatever. So I'm like, oh Lord, girl.
Sick kick.
Suck it.
Yeah. So, but that is not what happened. The press release came out, and Madonna, in tribute to her 50 number one hits on the dance club charts, the first person in the world to have 50 number ones on any chart, she released this album. Finally Enough Love. I have the Target edition with the clear vinyl, and I have the Amazon version with the gray vinyl. And then I have, of course, the 50 number ones CD version, and then the standard edition on CD. So I know a lot of other Madonna collectors have like 8,000 versions. There was like a Walmart red edition that looked cute, but you know, you got to draw the line somewhere. So before we start talking about the album, I just want to say my thoughts on it, that it seems like people were really moved by this collection. And I know that for me, listening to this fucking album, it was literally a walk down fucking memory lane. Because I grew up, I'm a reformed club kid, I'll call myself, or washed up club kid, however, whatever mood you want to say. And I could literally listen to this album and remember where I was, even the ones, whether I was a kid in 1985 with my little Fisher Price record player, or it was 1992 and I was at the Night Spot in Jamestown, or it was 1997 and I was at Buffalo at Club Marcella's, or at the Castle in Tampa, or at G Bar in 2009. So like, it was really a walk down memory lane, very emotional. Once you have Madonna's remixes, and we'll talk about this later, I didn't mind the radio edits because it kept things moving. So I know some people prefer the longer versions.
I do.
I like to keep walking me down memory lane. You know, whether it's 2012 and you're at Honey Pot pretending that you're Madonna in the Avicii. I had these like leg warmer things on my arms, and my friend's like, "You're just like Madonna at Ultra." So I just think that of all the things Madonna could have done in her career at this time, she really did the right thing at the right time. I think we all needed this collection. We didn't need another greatest hits. I mean, we know all those, but shit, Madonna's dance remixes, having them back to back blew my fucking mind. So let's go person by person. I'll call on you and just tell me your first impressions of this collection. We'll start with my upper left, David.
Not long enough. I love the long plays. I love the long mixes.
Just like everything in your life.
Long mixes at least once a week. So this is great that they're all in one, but I would have, I hate radio edits. I know nowadays everything has to be like 2 to 3 minutes long and stuff like that, but I'm good. I need the 7 minutes of physical attraction. I'm sorry.
Yeah, totally.
But no, I love it. I question some of the remixes she has. I question the lack of a couple of songs, but overall it was great because the thing is, this, you know, obviously they say that this is for us, but it's not for us. It's for the new generation to be introduced.
Yeah.
And I love it because she's the biggest dance act of all time. So this is really good. And then people can be like, oh, honestly, the best thing about it, the remastering. It sounds so like everybody in Physical Attraction were on point. These 80s songs were like, oh, and I just could not get enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, big time. I love it. I'm very happy with it. I wish it was longer, but I'll take it.
Now, David, is it safe to say that there's many things in your life that you wish were longer?
Yes.
Okay. Jeffrey Dicker, tell us about you and Finally Enough Love.
What do you know? I have not been the biggest Madonna fan in recent years, admittedly. And first of all, when she announced it, I was like pretty excited because in collecting them all in one place, you know, the younger generation gets a chance to hear them. And that morning, I kind of didn't even have any intention of buying the CD. I was just going to stream it, and because I had all the CD singles and whatever. And I started listening to it that morning, and I was like, I am buying this CD. Like, I can't even wait to fucking go get it. And then, funnily enough, I had to go to 3 places to get it. They were like sold out of it. It was like really bizarre, but I love it. I mean, there's some questionable choices, as we know, but there was even a lot of times when her CD singles came out, there was one particular remix I gravitated to, and then I kind of didn't listen to the other ones.
Same here.
Some of those remixes that I did not gravitate to are on this collection. And so I've actually, like, Die Another Day, I was like, holy shit, I've been sleeping on this remix for like ever.
And she loves that remix, but when we get to Die Another Day, we will talk about the remixes that it should have been.
So there was a bunch of like kind of surprises. I'm absolutely loving the collection. I am so thrilled she put it out, and it's like I feel like it's finally a step in the right direction based on some of the other dubious choices she's been doing lately with her career.
All right.
And let me just say, you listen to this and you go, God, she is so badass.
Yeah.
50 fucking songs. It's not like 10, it's 50. And then there's so many missing songs. So there's even more. And so respect.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I just had to get that.
No, she's the true queen. Okay, Paul, Finding Enough Love. What do you think?
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's funny because the Erotica remix, I like, I'm sure I've listened to it before, or it's come up on a playlist, but like I just rediscovered it early in summer 2021 because I did a Madonna night, which failed miserably. But anyway, it was a weird time. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm playing this version of the song tonight. So it was cool hearing that. Question though, I could have sworn I heard somewhere that they were handpicked by her favorite remixes of songs that have been number one. So are all these ones we're hearing actually the versions that were number one respectively on the dance chart?
I think on the dance chart, it's just the song that's number one.
Yeah, it's a song that's number one, but we will when we get into those questionable remixes, we will mention the remixes that, because at least for me, my clubbing years were like 97. Well, my legally clubbing years were 98 to like 2006, but I had been going to rinky-dink gay bars since I was like 15 or 16, promising that I would not drink any alcohol just to listen to Goodbye to Innocence and Up and Down. Hi, Uncle Charlie's, good times. Yeah, we will talk about those remixes.
Yeah, so I think she could have picked any of the remixes. When something's number one, it just signifies that it's any of the remixes, right?
Let me just clarify. I picked out all the songs that were on the Ultimate Prince CD, and people ragged on me for the certain, why wasn't this song on there? Why wasn't that song on there? There's times where they couldn't clear a sample, so that eliminated it out of contention. And then also a CD only holds 80 minutes. So there's that to be contended with as well. So I think considering what the limitations are of CDs and legal stuff, she did a pretty freaking good job.
Hey, Jeffrey, why didn't you put the Mountains remix on Ultimate Prince? I'm just messing. Okay.
I know. Why didn't you put, and my favorite one though, really quickly, is the fact that I had Erotic City on there and Prince himself took it off. And every review of that album was like, it would have been great if Erotic City was on there. And I'm like, it fucking was. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm bitter, because I'd hate to see if I was. Okay.
Sharon, Finally Enough Love.
Finally, the record.
Finally enough, Sharon.
Finally enough, Sharon. Let me tell you. Finally, the record worthy of her incredible legacy on the dance floor, right? Like, let me just say, like, to Jeffrey's point, to everyone's point here, like, this is something I think was completely evident to all of us, because I think, like, it's clear to me from past podcasts, and then certainly everyone to date that we've, like, Paul, I don't know you that well, but it seems like based on what we've talked so far, like, we all clearly have had a lot of experience on the dance floor. And like if there's anything I think all of us know, is that she's had an incredible, like, probably like an unparalleled career of being like ahead of the curve on finding like truly exceptional remixers, and not just having these great songs, but also knowing where the talent is and finding these incredible remixers to take her music to this completely different place. And that's been, and that's another thing too, when I talk about like her legacy, not just on the dance floors, but also in the gay community, because that's often where you saw her music really take flight, was, like on the gay dance floors, right? And that was a lot of times where I heard a lot of those remixes. It wasn't in the straight dance floors, right? And the thing that came over me as I was listening to it I think it's easy to sort of sit there and like, you know, hindsight quarterback, like, oh, she should have put this remix on and versus this remix. And there's a couple of places where I was like, I don't know if I would have picked that remix. I think we all probably feel that. But at the end of the day, when I sit down, particularly in that like second half of that record, it's really, really hard to find a song on there that is like unlistenable, right? She has an incredible ability to find great musicians and great producers, right? And it's like who has this body of work? Nobody has this body of work, right?
No,
So,
not like that.
So like this is
Not where it's so involved.
She she's incredible, right? This is an amazing record. We can't lose sight of that. You know,
Any songs are all number one.
You would have to jump genre. For me, it would be like Madonna to Dance is what Aretha Franklin is to soul. That's a great body of work like that. So it's not too many people that can say, yo, I have like over 50 hits in the clubs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Having 10 hits is a fucking major accomplishment. She has 50 plus all the songs that aren't even on here.
Exactly. She's missing number one songs, which I will bring up.
Like think about all of the people that are on there too. Like working with Sasha at his prime, working with Betty Benassi, working with all you know, like all of the people. Like it's crazy. You know, and it wasn't just like picking like hot names. Like she was picking up on these people when they were still underground. So like I don't know. Like I think it's a pretty amazing record, and I think like everyone was saying in the chat ahead of this recording, it was a joy listening to this record.
Yeah.
It's a joy going back to this record. So like
it might be the only time that in history that Prince, Madonna, and Pet Shop Boys all worked on the same stuff.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah.
Cool. So David, before we go into the track by track, would you like to share about the number ones that did not make?
When we get to those eras, we will.
Okay, so we'll do by the era.
Yeah, like you said.
It's like
Starting off with a missing number one.
So
Holiday is her first number one on the dance charts, but Holiday is a double-sided single on the dance club charts.
Oh wow.
The other side is Lucky Star. She doesn't have that on here. That's the first missing number one.
I'm really surprised actually that Lucky Star wasn't on there because I mean some of the songs you feel like the album version would have been good enough, but obviously it's kind of like a remix collection, so maybe I don't know. But
now it's interesting to follow.
Too. Correct. She wrote Lucky Star.
Yeah, she did.
So why wouldn't she want that on it? She's a woman of her royalties, and I'm like, okay, well, but I mean, I guess that's okay. Whatever she wants to do.
So what's interesting to me is you follow the trajectory of the dance remix. Because in the 1980s on the 12-inch maxi singles, you just had extended versions that would basically take the album cut and then just expand on them. And then when you got into the early 90s with Shep Pettibone, he was the first one with Express Yourself to take an album track, completely erase it, and do new music. So then that became the next era of remixing, or remixers kind of doing new music. And then when you get into the 2000s, you start to hear the trends from that era. So this album also is like a real true signpost of the trends in club remixing and maxi singles, which became CD singles. And I miss the singles. Now all you have are like promo singles, which are kind of not the same as going out and buying the CD single back in 1998. But all right, does anyone have anything to add before we go into the first era of the remixes? All right, so we are going to do the 50 number ones version, and we are going to go era by era. So the album CD1 starts with Holiday. So let's do the stuff from the first album. We have Holiday, and that's it, because everybody she has grouped with the You Can Dance songs.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So should we do
from the first album are representative of the You Can Dance album going to number one.
So should we do the first and second album together? Maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
First three albums together you can get away with.
So we have Holiday, the 7-inch version, Like a Virgin, the 7-inch version, Material Girl, the 7-inch version, Into the Groove, She did use the You Can Dance radio edit, which is interesting because I think everybody knows the You Can Dance version. When you go back and listen to the actual Desperately Seeking Susan version, that's not the one that everybody knows now.
No. Remixed by Jelly Bean, if I'm correct.
Then we have the Open Your Heart, the video version. So,
which is, see, I don't get that part. There is an official remix, and it is a very good remix. And not only that, so she puts Open Your Heart, but where is Papa Don't Preach remix? Where's the True Blue remix?
They were number 1 on the dance chart, though, were they?
Okay, that's true, but
it's only the number ones.
Okay, yes. I'm going to stay quiet, but those were really good remixes.
Maybe she needs to release even more love, the number 2 songs.
Finally, love for the number 2s.
Listening to this first batch, like David said, I'm going to say my puss got a little wet by how good the remastering was. Like, it was so fucking sounded so good. These songs have aged well. Because some 80s stuff is so like, ugh. You know what I mean? But these
so a couple of months ago, we got the standard version.
Right.
And I was blown away from how great everybody sounded. Like, I've been listening to that song for 40 years. So it's like, but it just sounded so crisp. It didn't sound like it was from the 80s.
That's because Mike Dean is smoking all that weed in the studio, and Madonna's like, it's all right, you're a really good engineer. And he's just like ripping weed and just like getting all the gods to make him mix it.
Yeah, maybe all the sound waves got transmitted through Madonna's grills. And that's why
possible.
That's why the whole collection sounds so good. And if that's the case, I'll take it.
Yes. Like David was saying, we've been listening to some of these songs for 40 years. And like, when I heard Into the Groove, it's like, they're so rare that you hear a song I'm like, I need to hear that like 5 times right now.
Yeah.
That's definitely like when I like start listening to music in the morning, I'm like, that will be number 1 for today, Like, let's kick it off with that because boy, it puts me in such a good mood. And it's like, it sounds so good. I mean, after all these years, and that's a song I've listened to obsessively for the whole time, and it's just like, again, you just sit there and go, she's so badass to have made so many good records
that's something I'll say
many people love.
That's what I miss about the newer Madonna albums is I feel like Madonna could do Joy like nobody else.
Seriously.
Joy is a hard emotion to not to do right. It's so easy to be like fucking Katrina and the Waves, who called Madonna flash in the pan bitch with her dumbass Walking in Sunshine. That's a bad example of Joy. Holiday, all these early Madonna songs make Joy look pretty fucking good to me. That's all I'm gonna say. And,
yeah.
Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, Into the Groove has a very, very special place in my heart because like the line, only when I'm dancing can I feel this free. At night I lock the doors so no one else can see. Like that to me, like as a child, I was like, that's me. I do that. I'm tired of dance. Like I was like sub 18, couldn't go to dance clubs. I was like, I'm tired of dancing all by myself. I was like, let me out of my bedroom. Let me go to it legally. I was like the joy of that, of like, I just want to I have all of this feeling and I just want to get out there and be part of the world and the feeling of dancing, because like me going out had nothing to do with drinking or drugs or anything like that. It's like I just wanted to be on a dance floor, and it's like how she put words to that emotion.
Yeah.
Nobody had ever put words.
She was like an introduction to nightlife without even ever knowing what any of that meant. I mean, just watching Desperately Seeking Susan and then going to my first gay clubs or just like whatever, but more queer.
Drying off your armpits in the hair dryer.
Yes, always.
Yep.
And
I did that for a good decade.
One of us.
Yep.
I feel like every one of us have felt like Madonna in Desperately Seeking Susan in low lighting in a club at some point.
And who doesn't dance like this?
Oh,
Who's not doing this, honey? I'd be doing this. Child,
Yeah.
And for Material Girl, I'll sit in a car and sit like this the whole time, honey.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Does anybody walk up the stairs and feel like you're in the Papa Don't Preach video going up the stairs?
Absolutely.
Always.
Well,
Bitch,
not at the club.
I
That's
literally
more
went to
just,
Staten Island and climbed up those stairs on purpose.
Okay. for old time's sake, because this album is a throwback, for old time's sake with the podcast, did you guys regret that she didn't put on the Into the Groove Who's That Girl tour version? Where she sings,
so good.
Tonight I want to dance with someone else.
Was that the Cher voice coming through?
She should totally have like like Cher needs to remix one of her songs and like sing. They like do a duet and like all of a sudden they both break into like.
Hey, dude, they should do a duet.
Oh God. Okay.
Can we just share versions? Finally enough share.
Finally enough. Tonight I want to dance. The Who's That Girl tour was the ultimate era of Madonna doing the Cher voice live. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it was 1987. I had my Who's That Girl soundtrack with the big fucking caterpillar eyebrows. And then I went to a record giant in Phonogenics, New York, and I see a new Madonna album with this red cover called You Can Dance. I said, oh my God, Madonna has a new album out? I look at the track list, and it was a new song called Spotlight. Then all these songs I already heard. And at that point, I'd never heard of a remix album. It wasn't something, I think, was Madonna You Can Dance the first remix album like that? Jody Watley did it later.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'd had one before that, but like I remember going to Music Plus, Jeffrey, Music Plus to buy the You Can Dance on cassette for Spotlight.
I have a promo of it, and I don't know where I got it from, but because it has like the notch in the side, I don't know where I got it. It might have been a record show. But I would have had to have had it the day it came out, so I don't know like where.
Eurythmics did have something called Touch Dance, which was an expansion of their Touch album.
That predates it.
But that was a little bit different.
The vinyl version, and like I feel like there's different formats of it that either have like a different dub version or like an extra song on it or something. And I remember my cousin, my introduction to that CD. Well, you know what? Even though like I'm a little younger, not a lot, so that wasn't like a read on any part. But I caught up with her career of where she was at really young, because I remember going to my mom's friend's house, and no one wants to deal with the kids. So I went upstairs and played in like her daughter's room by myself. And there was Madonna's first tape, and I finally listened to that in its entirety. So I heard like I Know It and the ones I had never heard the singles of. Mind you, I'm like 5 probably. And then I saw You Can Dance, and I was like, Spotlight, what's this? So that's when I had my whole moment with it. But I was caught up with her by like a prayer at age, whatever, 1988, I was 5. So my experience with it was like private.
Right.
And I just have to tell this story real quick, because if I don't, it'll be so quick. It was a thing that I knew that I wasn't supposed to like Madonna when I was little, and it was dark and it was fucked up. And I came home from school one day, and I went to Catholic school, mind you, and my Like a Virgin tape was missing. And I was like, I just knew. My mom hid it on me. She doesn't want me to have it, doesn't want me to listen, because it's all I ever did. So I went, and I'm 5, 6 years old, had the biggest meltdown fight with her. Where is it? I know you hit it on me. Just that whole moment. And then I said, I wish I was the girl. And but I meant, because then I could like be myself. But then I went and grabbed my Who's That Girl soundtrack, and I ran up to my mother. Mind you, I love the smell of the cassette insert of the Who's That Girl soundtrack. I don't know. There was something like really, I don't know, but
it was Nikki Finn's cooch.
I ripped the tape up in front of my mom. You don't want me to like Madonna. I like had my first little gay boy meltdown, and that was it. But I'm gonna let you guys all talk now. But when I get to 1987, it's a little different for me.
All right.
Experience happened in '88.
I mean that just tugs at my heart. What tugs at my
Very
heart is
true.
like a mom.
It was intense. It was a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm so glad we're here and laughing about it, but like
finally enough love.
Finally enough love.
And we don't want to get to this place. I feel like all of us have probably gone through so much. The era we grew up in was a hard era. Whether you were gay or a freak or different, people
pretty much if you were a boy and liked Madonna, you were gay, and everybody knew it because it was like girls. And like when you were younger, girls like Madonna and gay guys like Madonna, and that was it. Or, it wasn't like, parents hated her,
It was rare that parents accepted her because they understood art.
But I feel like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people didn't like her because they, she represented like come to the dark side, and it was basically just like that's how they viewed it. But it was really just like be yourself, like go on the dance floor and fucking throw up your armpits and do what you want to do. And I mean that's why I think so many young people related to her, and and then it's actually funny thinking about that people dissed her for like, really trite song lyrics, but actually they're pretty like fucking great when you think about it. Cause it's like, she encouraged all these people to just fucking be themselves. And so many people had better lives because of her music.
Yeah, I did.
When all else failed, you could escape to her, and she never let you down. And I mean, that's fucking amazing.
That's what it was.
She didn't let me down till Spanish lesson. Okay.
Wow.
But that's going on erotica.
That's a good run. That's a good run.
That's my point on erotica in the sex book too, is because she put a voice to having a libido and passion and all of these things that like me being raised as a woman, like you could not you could not as a good girl have any of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I think about me as a good girl, and like I couldn't have any of those things. I can't even imagine. I can't conceive of the conflict that you would have to go through as a gay man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Having
God.
all those feelings, and like I'm gonna guess during that era, you probably couldn't really talk about that, And like she gave a voice and a feeling and like it's like that was the amazing thing about her, So like that, and like she gave that to me, and she gave that to you, and she gave that to all of us.
But that's the thing, is she gave it to everybody. It didn't matter, like, because that's what love is. It's just like it doesn't matter what your category is. It's just love, which finally enough love. There you go.
What a great title, right?
Family's a reason to have a conversation with their children, which I'm sure a lot never happened or didn't go as well as they should have. But yeah, and the collective conscious, she was definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't want to veer this in a weird direction, but this is one of the things that like when raising my daughter, like I've made a really like conscious decision. Like I haven't wanted to steer her like in very like specific, like you're a girl, you have to wear dresses, things like that. Like it's really important that like as a parents that we really think really deeply about like what is the message that we're sending to our kids about she went into a store and she wanted to buy tools, and I wanted to like it doesn't matter, like to me as a parent, like it doesn't matter what she gravitates to. What I care about is that she knows that whoever she is inside is that I love that and I don't judge it, and that's what I want her to take away from our relationship, not
you
that
should
she
buy her first sex book.
My mom bought me my sex book.
Mine too. My mom bought me mine for my graduation present.
I will.
And we looked through it together.
When the time is right.
Of course.
But the point is, like just be open, and understand, like, and like I'm so sorry that happened,
Oh, it's okay. But the moment was, there were a lot of those moments, but it was funny. So now it is.
All right, so let's move into we live to tell. Let's move into the You Can Dance era remixes. We have Physical Attraction, You Can Dance remix edit, Everybody, the You Can Dance remix edit, and then that's it. But the whole album hit number one.
I'll never complain about Physical Attraction because that's a classic, and I can't complain about Everybody because it's the first single. But
no Over and Over.
No Over and Over.
Oh,
over and over. No, honestly, the remix to Where's the Party is everything.
And that
version
always
been everything. Bitch, because I'll tell you, I will hit them streets and scream, Puerto Rico!
Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
Can I just say something? Okay, because I wasn't on that particular podcast. Over and Over is such an important song to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I haven't talked about it on these podcasts, but I'm not afraid to say I need a different beat. I'll go out in the streets and I'll shout it again from the highest mountain. I used to scream those lyrics, shout it, ah! Like that song is so much meaning to me,
so much throaty voice, Jeremy, in that one.
And now go out in the streets, yeah.
And it's like, and it's like it trite song, but it's like
I love it.
But it's like like her like
That's
like,
ambition.
She moved on so quickly to True Blue, but Over and Over is single worthy. Has always been single worthy.
Oh my god, such a great song.
See, I don't give a fuck. I will fuck with Pretender and Stay even. Like I love those
All
fucking
day.
songs.
Fuck those.
All day.
The demo to Pretender and Stay.
Oh yeah, those
Yes.
were good.
I'm not a big fan of either of those, to be honest.
So Over and Over, yes, come through.
Okay, I'm gonna say something controversial, but I fucking love Spotlight. I love Spotlight.
I like
I
Spotlight.
do too.
Why
I
is
think it's
Spotlight?
great.
I was indifferent, but I've grown to love it. And like
No,
I would have been
no,
fine
no.
if she chose Spotlight to
Then
represent
you know
You Can Dance. I
yourself.
would have had no problem.
I mean, I'm sure we can all understand and agree like why and where it didn't work. And they probably is like a label. We're like, all right, we're just gonna pump this out. You got the toy, you got the movie. Like, let's make a little extra money and make the gays happy, right? You know. But I think it's great. But a video could have been cute.
Oh yeah, more than the Mitsubishi Japan commercial, right? Wasn't there like a commercial?
I love when people make fan mades. I'm like, thank God for these people entertaining us.
All right. Well, do we have anything else to say about You Can Dance before we move on to the? Oh yeah, go ahead, Sharon. And then Jeffrey.
I want to say You Can Dance was the first time I was aware of what a bolero was.
Oh, okay.
And that's a very important thing that she gave to me. Was knowing what a bolero was.
I was, oh my God, ma'am. Because when he started talking about the album, I was like, let me put on my bolero. Because she looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like, that cover is very beautiful.
Isn't it?
Did her Brit shoot that?
I don't.
Yeah.
Did he?
Her Brit shoot that? I don't know. It's just beautiful though. Yeah,
It
you're right.
probably was.
Jeffrey, did you have something to add?
I was just gonna say, I don't know why I've never liked Physical Attraction. It sounds great on this collection. It's not that I don't like it. It's just it's one of my less favorite songs from like the Imperial phase. I don't dislike any of her early stuff. It's one of my lesser favorites.
Oh,
The remix version
It is punchier. I like the remix.
I'm like, I live for it.
I like when the
Always
backup
loved
singers
it.
come
I
in.
Loved it.
And the version of Everybody from You Can Dance is fucking insane. It's so good. I mean, Into the Groove and Everybody, it's like worth it for those two alone.
Maybe we were meant to be together. The backup singers, I'd love them. I always pretended I was the backup singers.
Everybody has the most, I don't know, the most iconic Madonna line ever with dance and sing, get up and do your thing. So everybody hears that and it's automatic Madonna.
And I'll
So
say
it's
something a
like-
little controversial. I feel like the mix on the original album, her original single edit, was always a little too lo-fi for me. So I really appreciate the remastering on this collection because it gives everybody some balls. All right. Well, do we have anything else up to 1987? We lost Paul, but hopefully he'll come
Oh,
back.
wait. We're missing a number one.
Oh yes. You've been
missing
going
number
on about
one.
this for a while.
I think we're missing causing a commotion. Like really. Like she is causing a commotion, the redheaded stepchild of the Madonna songs, because it wasn't included. Look, Causing a Commotion is a top 2 single.
That is
And
actually
it
great.
just didn't go to number 2 and fell off. It was
I
there
wonder-
for 3 weeks.
I wonder-
It's number one on the dance. It was a number one on the dance chart.
Yes. The
So it should be on
Silver
this collection.
Screen remix to that.
I wonder
I
if
live, like I know on paper Causing a Commotion is Into the Groove Part 2, but it's so cute. And I know what a flop Who's That Girl is, but the opening of that movie and you see a cartoon version of Madonna singing that song is everything for me.
Do you know what
And
I
she's
love?
there with the mannequins.
I have to say this, and this is a little off topic, but we're allowed. The thing I love about the fucking Who's That Girl songs is it shows what a good bridge writer Madonna was. Like in the Who's That Girl,
Wait 1 second.
Light
Is
Up
she,
My Life. And then in
she
Causing,
is known for her bridges
Yep.
because Live to Tell's bridge is
Oh my God.
everything. Live
Oh
to
my
Tell's
God.
bridge shits, and pardon my
Oh.
French, shits on people's careers.
Absolutely.
Nobody could come with a bridge like that.
but what about the bridge on Causing a Commotion? I hope you find what you're looking for.
for.
I
That's
love that
what makes
part.
that song special because, you know, everybody's like, oh, it's very into the groovish, it's blah 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 blah, but that is unique to that
I
song.
love Causing a Commotion with the single cover with her with the gun, Nikki Finn.
See, I wonder if it's because it's part of a soundtrack that it's the rights. I have a strange feeling that
It's the same label though. It came out on.
I know, but
Fire.
like there was an issue with like licensing Bat Dance when you do a Prince compilation because
Okay.
the samples of Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, and Kim Basinger have to be cleared.
Okay.
It's like a pain to do that, even though like the Warner Brothers owns the rights. I don't know why that is. But
You know what? Before we move on to the next era, I'm gonna say I like me some Can't Stop too. I don't give a fuck. Who's that girl?
Oh, but what about
Look of Love.
yes,
Yep.
I like it. It's in my ballads collection for Madonna.
All right, so we are gonna move on. I was sitting on the phone in 1989 with Jeanette Cross, whose brother I fell in love with a few years later and totally went single white female stalker on him.
Yes, I remember this story.
Yes, terrible. Like I terrorized him for like a decade. But back to his sister Jeanette. Sorry, dude. When you're gay and come from a broken home, you just don't have your pieces. You're fucked up. But anyway, his sister was on the phone with me saying that Madonna had a new album coming out called
I have to
Like
mute
a
you because I
Prayer.
have a gardener in my backyard. So I'm gonna mute you.
She said Madonna has a new album called Like a Prayer. I said, no, she doesn't. You're thinking of Like a Virgin. She's like,
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
it's called Like a Prayer. So the first thing I did was find the 12-inch single at Record Giant. So I heard that Shep Pettibone remix, the Immaculate Collection one, before I actually heard the album version. Like I heard that album version later. So I thought the Shep version was like the actual version. Just because
That remix is everything, and that is the beginning of her
Okay, I fixed it.
introduction to house music.
So these are the Like a Prayer songs. Then we'll talk about them as a group. We have Like a Prayer, the 7-inch remix edit, Express Yourself remix edit, Keep It Together, alternate single remix. And then should we throw Vogue in there since it was supposed to be a B-side to Keep It Together? Well,
The B-side of Keep It Together is coming up. Do you want to combine the Dick Tracy
no,
era?
we better not. We'll say with the 3 Like a Prayer songs. So this was Madonna's introduction into house, and Shep Pettibone literally erasing her music parts and writing new music to it.
Which was great. Like her and Shep were really good together.
When I heard that
Really,
Express
really.
Yourself single remix, I was like, this is the future of music. Like that's what I
Oh my
thought.
God. Like, you know how many people continuously confuse the album version with the version we all love, which is the Shep Pettibone, which was available on the Justify My Love remixes
Right.
commercially.
It was
'Cause
also
it was
on a
out to clubs, but it wasn't out for us to buy.
it was on a
until the
Japanese. It was on a Japanese single called Remixed
Oh.
Prayers.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that can be a really frustrating thing to do for a Madonna night because you don't know what version of the song you want to play because a couple of them are close to each other and they're both really good. I like the album version too, though.
Did you guys read the interview with Shep Pettibone where he's like, I didn't like that album version of Express Yourself. I thought it was
Yes.
cheesy.
On Billboard.
Yep.
On Billboard, and because of we were early time, but because of Beyonce Vogue remix, Shep Pettibone, Billboard re-released the article, so I got to read it again, and it was really good.
Now, something very important about this era is Madonna not only had Shep remix her song, but she took his remix and that became the single version released to the radio in a radio edit. It was used for the music video and it was used for the MTV Music Awards. She's the first artist to start taking remixes that were different from the album version and make them the commercially released version.
Yep.
So, you know, that was huge at the time.
That would be her calling card in the 90s,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
when we get to the bedtime stories era.
She's so fucking smart.
I can't believe she released that version of Like a Prayer and not the dance. There's like a version that's like super dancey. That version is like have gone so much better on this, in my opinion.
You're thinking
But
like the one they used on Immaculate Collection, right?
Yeah,
it's like an offshoot of that. There's like 5 bazillion remixes and like everyone is like slightly different. But the one is called the 7-inch This is called the 7-inch remix edit, and it's the dance version. They used to play that one on the radio in California, and like
But if I don't hear chanting in the background, then somebody screaming, "Oh my God!" That is not the version I want.
Well, and then I mean, and it's funny because like Prince did the keyboards at least,
He did the keyboard, and then he did the guitar at the end.
Yeah, and like
as
that.
well.
When you listen to that, it's such a Prince like that era of his music. It's like it's very funny to me.
Yeah,
He had a sound in that period.
that was his Batman era, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Which
Like
was the
they
Love
Blonde
Sex is like
Ambition tour?
right after Love
Vicky
Sex is
Vale.
Batman.
Paul, what's that?
What version is the Blonde Ambition tour? Is that the
That's
one?
the
So it's like-
7-inch. That's the Shep version.
The dance version. Yeah.
That's the dance
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's
If I don't hear the chanting, and it doesn't make my body want to go like this and scream, "Oh my God!" It's
Like
not
this.
the version, honey.
Now, just so
Oh
you
my God,
guys,
she was so super gay for me, possessed when she did that performance on Blonde Ambition. I was just like, and then you know she's like gyrating. You hear Nikki singing the background vocals and getting her life and serving vocals.
I got
That's the
tickets to
exorcism part of the
Nikki
show.
and Donna. They're going to be here in October. I got front row and meet and greet.
oh, I love it. Tell them to be on our podcast.
I know, but they'll be done by then. So
We'll do another. I'll read you any fucking album of Nikki and Donna can come on. So back in '89 is when everyone was talking about playing records backwards. So I did play the 12-inch single of like a prayer backwards, and that chanting is the just like a prayer backwards. So just so you guys know, that's what that is.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Oh my God. What do you think of the version that she put on Finally Enough Love? It's one of those weird ones.
Which
Yeah.
one?
I think she should have put the dance version on that.
I think she should put the
can't-
dance version.
I mean, they're both great. It's like it's really hard to pick, but this is like a collection of dance remixes. That one's more of like a good radio track, you know.
Yeah.
But
I will
nobody
say
asked-
though,
nobody asked me.
there was this club in Tampa called Masquerade. Paul, I don't know if you remember Masquerade, but they had
Is
an
it like
80s.
on a side street?
It's where the Ritz is now. So
I don't remember. Oh,
okay.
okay.
they had an 80s night every Thursday, and they would play this version of Like a Prayer, the one that's on this compilation, every fucking week. So this is the version they played. Isn't that weird? So everyone had their own Like a Prayer that they played. Express Yourself. I don't have anything to say about this, but it's genius. I mean, what the fuck can be said about this?
Shep.
Shit, baby. And then
All I have to say about Express Yourself is it's so good that Lady Gaga scored a hit 20 years later.
Please, no, please.
Inadvertently.
can I ask you guys a serious question? If you're in the supermarket and you're on the radio and you hear,
Cherish.
what's
Because
the
that's
line
what I
from the
hear
video?
at Publix. Cherish.
Oh, sorry.
What's the line from the video? Now I'm drawing a blank, son of a bitch. But
Hello,
we're-
Which song?
You
Come on,
believe-
girls.
And Express
Do you
Yourself, where
believe
she's
in
like
love?
this, where she's like that part of the song. I always have to do it, no matter if I'm in front of everyone at a supermarket. I gotta do the moves from the fucking video.
Child. I need to like run up to something and climb up and be like, come on,
Come on,
girl.
girls, do you believe in love? Because I got something to tell you about it. And it goes a little something.
Go something like this.
And that's Jill Jones's ex-husband in the video carrying Madonna. So there you go,
Nice.
little trivia.
Wow, really?
The Keep It Together single edit. This is an edit I hadn't heard before, and I love
Oh,
it.
wait.
Sure.
Before we move on to Keep It Together.
Okay.
When Express Yourself hit number 1, she broke the tie she had with Donna Summers as the artist with the most number ones.
Okay.
And after that, she never looked back.
Donna tried to catch up, but that Cone Mead Partito just didn't do it.
It went to number 1. We will not be ragging on that. But
I
by
love
that
Donna
time-
Summer.
Well, you know, Donna Summers had come out in '89 with a number 1 dance club record.
Yeah, another
This
place
time
in
I
time.
know it's for real, but after that, she disappeared for a good a minute. And then Madonna, I don't remember a time where Madonna didn't have like 2 to 3 number 1s a year.
Yeah.
I was like, every remix was a number 1. And number 1 on the dance club is Madonna with this, and Madonna with that, and Madonna with this.
I used to work at Hamburger Mary's in Orlando, and the promo dance DVD they would give us, with all the songs. I know that maybe Madonna Give It To Me video was on the same with Donna Summer, Stamp Your Feet on the Ground.
Oh, yeah.
It was like her last one, maybe, and then, but that was cute. I missed that. I missed those days. Stamp Your Feet. Good.
All right. Well, keep it together. This is obviously the version in Blonde Ambition was based on the single edit. Love that. It's interesting because Keep It Together is probably the lowest ranking single of all the Like a Prayer singles. And when I listened to it on this collection, I'm like, this song is so fucking good. Like it jumped out to me. I love it.
It's a forgotten hit, but honestly, so Oh Father flops, peaks at number 20.
Oh my God. Don't bring up Oh Father because I have like very strong.
I was shocked she released another single, but this song did what it needed to do. Peaked at number 8, went gold, and the remix went to number 1. It became her first number 1 in this new decade of 1990.
Right.
So you guys should know Oh Father is like one of my all-time favorite Madonna songs.
It's a beautiful song.
Oh, probably everybody. What a shame.
I mean, like I have very, very strong feelings about Oh Father. But Keep It Together, I love Keep It Together. Like I actually hadn't listened to it in probably 15 years until this record. And I was just like, it feels weird too, because I'm also kind of like, how does she feel about her family now? Although she honestly, she was there and like with the whole family at the vineyard. So
right. At the Ciccone winery.
Yeah, right. And like Christopher was there and nobody died. So like the person everything's okay ish. But
Remember Martin from the movie? Hey there, Madonna. Hey, you talk like this. All right. Well, the Keep It Together CD single originally was going to have a B-side throwaway song. And they recorded this song just to throw on the B-side for something new. And they decided that it was just too good for the B-side. And that's just a little old song called Vogue.
Who didn't need a remix? The radio mix was the official mix on this. And I like the remixes to Vogue, but the original version, like nothing sets me off than when I hear this bitch go, woo, at the beginning. I'm like, yes, it's Vogue,
because
bitch,
that part's
let's
not
go
in
home.
That part's not in like the album version that is like on all the collections that are out, basically. Like you'd have to like hunt down this fucking version. So it's nice to have it like readily accessible again.
Right.
I mean, I agree with that, but let me tell you something. Something about the beginning of Vogue where you hear the
oh my
God.
I read that they
and the snaps come in.
That they put that part in to make it fit better on the Dick Tracy soundtrack.
Correct.
The part was added after as like an afterthought to like make it more like Dick Tracy's sounding.
Right. To make the segue feel a little more, which makes sense. But like from an atmospheric standpoint, when I hear that intro, like my hair stands up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because because I know school is about to be in fucking session, right?
Yeah.
and I just, oh my God. And then I can see the video in my head. And like, it's just the most classy fucking thing. And then like, it's like school is about to be in fucking session, And like that song is so timeless. Like, I don't know how they possibly wrote how did she write the most timeless dance record of all time?
Now, speaking of school being in session, now this era takes me back to study hall, because for some reason my friends knew about the new Madonna stuff coming out, and my cousin Josh, who I don't want to bring things down, but he did recently kill himself. But he was my buddy. I know. So Josh, we're talking about you on the podcast. He's like, Madonna has a new song out called Vogue. I'm like, no, she doesn't. She just released Keep It Together. He's like, yes, she does. I just fucking saw it. And sure enough, she had a new song called fucking Vogue. Because you didn't know about this Dick Tracy album coming out. You didn't know about this Dick Tracy album coming out till you saw the Vogue video and it said it's from music from and inspired by Dick Tracy. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because back before the internet, you didn't know about things coming out really till they came out.
Did you not have MTV, sir? Where is your MTV? Because I was fully informed. The minute she went back to Blonde for Express Yourself, the video, That's
my
how
God.
I knew she was doing, because they're like, oh, she went back to Blonde because she's gonna play Breathless Mahoney and Dick Tracy, and she's gonna do the music. So I had already
Remember Madonna days on MTV where you
Yes.
get to see
Madonna
every, even
Fonz.
like both versions
Madonna
of Gambler.
Fonz.
Yes. Oh my God, I
Oh.
totally remember that. And they played
Yeah.
that fan created video of True Blue. If you guys remember that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Oh, that was such
I
a
always
cute video.
thought True. Well, blue is just like one of my favorite colors, but I always thought the True Blue video was everything. I really did when I was little.
And I'll be totally honest,
What?
my family was pretty poor growing up, honestly, and we didn't get cable until 1992. So that's another reason why I probably didn't know what was going on MTV. I would see it like if I went to my grandma's house, because for some reason they had it, but we just didn't have it. And I think a lot of kids did.
I'll
You ever heard
give
of
you
Much
that.
Music in Canada?
Yeah.
Much Music. My roommate always talks about, I'm like, how do you know all these songs? But I didn't have BET or Much Music, so I used to think I was such a music buff growing up, but I guess I'm not compared to some other lucky kids with more cable channels than me.
Well, should we touch on the Beyonce Vogue remix or no need?
Sure. It's a good song. I like it.
I feel like it's recorded on someone's laptop, like in their closet.
You know what? The Vogue, the Vogue beat is timeless. And I kind of like the spin Beyonce took for it. And then of course I do love that she thanks Madonna and she gave Madonna credit on the song.
Yeah.
So and I'm fine with it. Honestly, with this album, with those 50 questions that she was asked a couple of days ago, this remix with Beyonce, like Madonna is currently on a high with the GP, with the general public. They are in love with her again. And I'm like, she'll eventually fuck it up because it's been 40 years of fuck ups. So, but I'm loving everything right now, and everyone is loving Madonna right now. So it's good. And she's, she isn't, she's not attacking anybody, and she's not being stupid and privileged right now, and she's just being the Madonna we all loved back then. So it's good. And she doesn't have that man anymore. I don't see her smoking weed anymore. So which is a shame. But I don't know. Everybody's happy with her right now, and I feel kind of happy to be a stan right now for her.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Let me just say one of the funnier things that ever happened to me is I was in a bagel restaurant with my little brother and sister. This is going back 3 or 4 years ago, and Vogue was playing over the loudspeaker, and I was singing along, and my little brother said to me something, oh, Lady Gaga. He thought it was Lady Gaga.
Oh.
And I was like,
Jeremy.
Yeah. So I was like, well, if Beyonce does a remix and people can at least she can like give respect to Madonna, and like people will actually know it's Madonna.
Yeah.
I'm actually in favor of that, as opposed to like people hearing it and automatically thinking it's Lady Gaga. So I'm good with that. I actually thought the remix was really good. Like I have to say, a lot of what I hear these days is basically like, not to make everyone hate me here, but is these days a lot of pop music I hear is on the Peloton, and if I have to work out to that song, man, there are way worse fucking songs to work out to, so I will take it.
All right, so we're gonna keep moving forward. I was in study hall with my cousin Josh one more time a few months later, and he said, there's a Madonna song coming out, and she's a real slut in this one.
So you thought it, obviously.
So I'm like, what? So I went home, and that's when you would listen to the radio, and fucking Justify My Love came on.
Oh my god.
I'm open and ready. Holy shit. Justify My Love. I love all the remixes. The fucking her collagen lips. Every remix is fucking good.
Her Elvis lips, her Billy Idol lips.
Yep.
I have to tell a Justify My Love story. So I was a freshman in high school, and we had to do a 30-minute speech, and I did mine on censorship. And Justify My Love video had just come out, and she sold the video cassette because it got banned on TV. So as I'm running a report on censorship, I was like, let me see if I can show a video that's been censored so I can give everyone a real life example of what's happening now. And so I, as a courtesy, got the principal's approval to show it, and she censored it, and I couldn't show it.
Oh,
So I told him in my speech, I was like, see, this is what censorship is. I was like,
and let's talk about Madonna's Nightline appearance.
So good for Madonna for
it's so good.
I love because
when
most of us probably saw that live.
Yep.
So it's like it goes viral once or twice a year. Like it's just like people are like, "This is Madonna." I go, "Yes, bitch, this is Madonna."
I'm getting a little emotional because no one's ever stood up for me. Madonna never met me.
The things that she gave to like everybody as far as like their sexualities and their freedom to dance on the dance floor. She also gave you, don't let anybody fucking censor you. Fuck that shit. You know, create your art and do your thing. Get up, dance and sing, get up and do your thing. You know, I mean.
I will say that nobody in my life has ever stood up for me more than Madonna did. And she's never met me. But she stood up for me more than anyone I've ever fucking known in my whole fucking life. Oh, I'm getting a little verklempt. Just time I love.
Make me cry too.
Son of a bitch. Just time I love.
She was our mother. She was our father. She was like the. It takes a village. She was the village.
Yeah.
House of Gucci.
So what did you all think? What do you think of the Orbit edit of Justify My Love? She did take out the "You Can Fuck With Me" from the maxi single that was not on here.
My favorite remix was the hip hop remix. But
justify my love now. Justify.
My favorite remix is the Girly Tour, the Girly Show Tour remix, because like I live for that justify, baby.
Justify my love.
I like the Beast Within remix.
The Beast Within is another great remix.
How can we forget about the Beast Within?
I get scared when I listen to it though. I have to like put the lights on. I'm like,
it does feel like she's like conjuring up something.
Yeah. There's
like taking the elevator to hell.
And she has that in every tour. Like she always has the thing. And that sample she used in Erotica a year later, like the first makes its appearance in the Beast Within. Sharon.
There's a mashup that a friend of mine spun in a goth club that is Justify My Love with Anton LaVey's Satanic Mask.
Oh wow!
Like mashed on top of it. It was like the best fucking thing ever, and I was like, like, so you talk about Beast Within. Like, I was just like, this is amazing. Like what a juxtaposition. But but Justify My Love is is one of my all-time favorite songs. And like for me, like the original, like nothing will ever like transcend the original. Because like first of all, it's just such a great groove, right? And like I think it's good, but like I don't know, like nothing will ever eclipse the original for me because like it's so good at being like so unrepentantly like sexual, but in a way that's like very like coy about it. Like it's like so like sexual, but like coy and like I don't know, like that song was like where Erotica ended up being like a little like going a little too far for me in the sense of like I wasn't ready for Erotica. Like I was like very ready for Justify My Love. I was like Justify My Love and I were like definitely on the same page. You know? Like I don't know, maybe me and Ingrid Chavez could have been friends.
It's a moving painting.
Actually released she released her version of it finally with her vocals. Like she recorded recently, and there's remixes on Spotify, and they're actually pretty good. So
great, I want to hear that. Yeah,
I'm interested to think who wrote what parts of it. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I think that Prince and Ingrid Chavez were around at the same time together, so I'm thinking he probably had his hand in it too somehow.
Oh,
right.
I'd love to know what percentage he was around for that, because he was also dating Madonna around that time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we all know that Lenny Kravitz wrote.
There's a version that someone sent me recently that had like it only has him doing that, and there's like no other.
I love that.
It's actually pretty good.
That's sexy.
Anything Lenny Kravitz does is sexy. I mean, Jesus, especially in that era.
Very, very true.
Now, before we move on, we do need to at least mention a song that did not hit number one. Rescue Me!
What a shame.
The Cher voice is ever present in that ring.
The Titanic remix.
I love Rescue Me.
No, I think it's
so
great
good.
too. I listen ever since it came in. It just came onto streaming. I want to say the single was released a couple of months ago, reissued again, and I love those remixes.
There's a promo mix that I guess has never been available before. I guess it was only on a promo, and I never heard it before, and it's really fucking good. It's like a radio edit promo. It's really good, and it has like different vocals. Or
Did
like
she perform it at Madam X, but like it didn't go the way she wanted, so she took it out and only kept it as an interlude, or was it only because from what I remember or thought, I don't know. Also, it might have been a different dimension I was in. It's been a strange 3 years, but I was like, she was gonna put that on as like an official performance track, but I felt like I heard it just didn't work out. So then she only kept it in as an interlude. I may be wrong.
I think she rehearsed it, but then it didn't make the final show. Hey, Eric, welcome back. We're on Justify My Love. So let's also mention how Madonna was like doing those talking vocals, which no one did like that before.
Yeah.
And you know, as we're about to find out, she did it in Erotica. So then Madonna had a hit with a ballad during the summer of '92. This used to be my playground. So we're gonna move past that. And then the Erotica era has come upon us. We have Erotica, the Underground Club mix, Deeper and Deeper, David's radio edit, Fever radio edit. See, and those are the 3 songs we have from the Erotica era. I love all the Erotica remixes. I
do not.
You don't?
No, I don't like them at all. I never have, and I still don't. I'm glad it's on the collection, I guess, but I mean, because it was part of her remix history. But like, they should have put the version from the Sex Book on there. I would have.
Oh, erotic. That's good.
And there's like a quote unquote remix of that with those vocals. That would have been my preference, but again, nobody asked me.
Did you say Quavo?
Oh,
Quavo remix.
Let's also talk about the Range of Japanese CD single that had the infamous Up Down Suite on it, which should have been a #1 club hit. Sharon, you've heard the Up Down Suite, correct?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Has everybody here heard Up Down Suite? Up.
Now,
Down,
what kind of
up,
Madonna
up,
fans
up.
would we be?
Yeah, I know. Have you guys heard like a version? Down, up.
And then, of course, there is the mixture of this with Goodbye to Innocence.
Right.
In a 13-minute glorious song. And like, that's why I hope, with the 30-year anniversary of Erotica, that we get You Thrill Me and we get Goodbye to Innocence and Up and Down Suite, because some of these demos and some of these outtakes from Erotica are really, really good.
Now, like Sharon said about, what song was it? Justify My Love. For Deeper and Deeper, I always preferred the album version over the remixes, even though she did that remix in the girly show.
I actually.
No.
Sorry.
No, ma'am.
I agree also, but I will say this remix is banging. And like that's
It is banging.
The remix of Deeper and Deeper is one of my favorites from this collection.
I agree
Deep.
How many people went to the club and did this with the headphones?
Statements.
You got it a lot on Instagram and her stories.
Okay, Sharon, you're next.
Very, very quickly, Deeper and Deeper is probably my favorite song on the record. And I think this remix is outstanding.
Mhm.
Like, this is like Junior.
It's great.
Like, this is like the classic. But with that said, I think the original is my favorite. So that's all I got to say.
On my thing, I love the remix more than the original, because the remix always reminds me of the Girly Show tour. And when she has those ad libs in the songs, I sing those ad libs in the remix, and I live for it. And it's just like, I don't know, that David Knapp, if I'm correct, his name is, that mix was very, very good, very, very good. And that was honestly the only version they would play on my station down here in Miami, was the remix. In the 90s, I don't think I heard album versions at all. I heard remix versions on the radio.
I was in high school, and I just remember it was 1992. I was a senior, and all I wanted was the fucking DJ to play Deeper and Deeper, because I wanted to, like, me and all my friends to go take over the dance floor from the preps and the jocks, and they fucking played it. And we went out there and danced, and I put on the headphones and did this, like in the video.
Did you shave your eyebrows too?
Yes, I did. I really did. I shaved my eyebrows. I have pictures of it, and I put tin foil on my fucking tooth,
Okay.
like Dita.
No 90s brows. No 90s brows.
I'm gonna show you guys pictures someday of my
They're
night.
coming back, I heard.
Let's do it. Let's all do it. Let's all do it.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No,
Stand in
ma'am.
solidarity.
These eyebrows are the only masculine trait I have left.
Oh, Eric, do you have anything to say about Deeper and Deeper?
He's muted.
Oh, you're muted, friend.
Unmute yourself.
I screwed up, by the way. That's
Is it on now?
Yeah, you're on.
All right,
Wait,
the
can I
David
ask a-
Morales remix is my favorite.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
All right, and I do have to say, I wish I would have put Fever Edit 1 from the music video over the version. This version always kind of got on my nerves. That's on this collection. It's not my favorite Fever remix.
I think the album
I
version's
like-
better.
I truly love the album version a lot. But it's fine. The remix is fine. It went to number 1.
It's fine.
It was the B-side to Bad Girl. So
Yeah.
Oh,
And I did love that Donna and Nikki were in these remixes and they weren't really on the album version, right?
correct.
All right. So then there was another ballad that happened. And I'll remember. And everyone's like, after the erotica era, there was that awful radio remix of Rain, which was terrible.
yeah.
Terrible, very cheesy. That was out at the same time as Expose's I'll Never Get Over You Getting Over Me. They were both terrible.
Shush, I live for expose.
I love Expose, just not that song. Don't tell Jeff X up. I said that.
I know, please.
Okay, so CD1 ends with a song where Madonna is in Harlem walking down the video with, once again, the eyebrows, the nose ring. She's on the...
And legendary drag queen Kevin Aviance.
Yes.
In this video.
And she's on the stand of the music thing with her titties.
Yes.
Dude, okay.
She is, let me tell you, she is in her fur, strutting down Harlem like she owns the place.
So we all had to say, this is the first Madonna song where I was at the club when it came out. By 94, I was at the club. And I think I was there for some of the later erotica stuff too. But 94, that fucking Junior remix was at the fucking Night Spot in Jamestown. It takes me right back to that shit. And I was in a dorm room the first time the radio, like Secret came on. My friends were talking. I said, you don't fucking talk during a new Madonna song. And I made everyone sit there in silence for 4 fucking minutes. So that's all I gotta say.
I was a senior in high school, and it's late August, and I'm riding the bus home. I'm getting off the bus, and that's the first time I hear Secret on the radio, and I fucking lose it.
I lost it.
It was the last time that I heard that version, because my favorite station, because I was listening out of the blue, I was listening to the top 40 station in Miami, which is Y100. And I was like, oh my God, I love it. It's very, for me, I love R&B music, so it was very R&B for me. But my favorite station is the crossover station, the rhythmic station that we have down here called Power 96. And that club remix is the only version they played on that station. Oh my God, it was just so glorious. It was the best.
Did they rename it Power Bottom 96?
Probably. It did turn me into one. I just know it.
You didn't have any secrets. No secrets.
Lie.
I feel like I really needed her to come through. For
What
me.
I
was in 6th grade. I feel like she was still like, sexual pushing some kind of envelope, but a little more demure. And like, I needed her to be like that for me. So my mom and dad or whoever just wouldn't hate her as much for the moment. Cause I don't know, I was just getting into middle school, but
Look.
I like TLC and a lot of other like R&B. So I didn't like fall off from Madonna, but I was like, you start like discovering that you're not just obsessed with one or two artists, but
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
It was safe.
that's a given, but look, Justify My Love and the whole erotica era, it really tested your love for Madonna.
Yeah.
Like really, like people were like I was, if there was social media back then, oh my God. But right
Oh my
now, my
God.
fights were in the streets when people were talking
That's right.
shit about Madonna, because I would not
That's
allow
right.
it. Like, and I'm like 16 years old, 15, 16, trying to fight everybody who was talking shit. Because it was just like, and it really tested your love for her, because a lot of people were like, they were done. They're like, she's a whore. We don't have time for that. And I was like, you don't get the message. You fucking suck, y'all.
So when you look at what she did, it was nothing compared to like 10% of like how explicitly and shamelessly people are now.
Right.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
So when Secret came out,
that's all thanks to her.
Remember, Secret was a lot warmer. Like, I just feel like it was a warmer song. It was just what I needed from Madonna. That fucking remix gives me life. I fucking love that remix.
Always. Like, her and Junior were the best.
It's so good. It's so much joy. It's
so much joy. Finally enough love.
Yes.
But let me talk about what if we're done talking about Secret, let me talk about a song. Speaking of songs that aren't here, let me talk about a song that's not here for a second. So a song that's in between Secret and Bedtime Story that isn't here, which is a little song called Human Nature.
Oh.
So that remix is great, but I think it peaked around 3.
So we talked a little bit about a song that we're talking about, like you're talking about like your earliest memories of clubbing, right? So my earliest memories of clubbing was going to a club called Death Guild in San Francisco, which is a goth club, right? And that song was a massive hit at Death Guild because yes, because one of the main DJs there was also a massive Madonna fan. This is also why Frozen was a club hit in goth clubs beyond just San Francisco, but because of the aesthetics of the video. But the aesthetics of the video, specifically of Human Nature, one of the goth DJs like played that song, like, I mean, week over week over week because of the video.
Oh yeah.
And because of, like, you know, and also I think because of the message of the song, you know, did I have a point of view? Oops, I didn't know we couldn't talk about sex. You know? And like, you know, and so like that song, and also I think part of it because of the song was a little bit slower, it was a little bit, you know, it was sexier, it was playful, it was, you know, it had a little bit of a groove to it, you know, and so it's just funny because we talk about our early club memories. Like, that was a song that is like very, very deeply ingrained in my earliest 90s club memories in the goth scene. So,
I love it.
Yeah. And it's not in this particular collection, but it has a very special place in my heart.
Well, we are at the end of CD1. Should we take a 5-minute break, everybody?
Yes.
Let's take a 5-minute. Are we going to get through all these? We're going to get through them, right?
Of course we will.
How fast, girls.
All right, we're back on our break.
Enough Gloff.
Finally enough Gloff. We are here to talk about disc 2 now of the 3 CD set, Finally Enough Love, 50 number ones. So we are in the Bedtime Stories era. We already talked about Secret that ended disc 1. The rest of the songs from Bedtime Stories are just Bedtime Story. The Junior single mix. And Come On Now, where she was at the Brit Awards with the long hair.
And the Versace dress.
Yes. Did you love that remix?
Oh.
I liked the other one better. We were talking about
the orbital remix.
Oh, you like that one better?
One I liked.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you youngins. Very sorry, but the definitive mix is the Junior mix. Okay,
she did.
Orbital is cute, but it doesn't touch this one.
I like both.
I like them both.
Yeah,
I like them both, but I like the other one. I like the Orbit one better.
Same here.
I like them both too.
Now, Sharon,
when she says, let's get unconscious, and it goes from ear to ear. That is like everything.
I will say, and not to yuck anyone's yum, but I felt like by the time the Human Nature remixes came, Junior started to seem a little generic.
And shady as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
That's another number one we could discuss.
If Junior calls.
But I will say I was at a gay pride dance thing that Junior Vasquez was hosting, and I had taken too many drugs and I was feeling like crap, and he fucking spun some song and like turned my shitty night upside down, and I like had the time of my life. So thank you, fucking Junior.
Thank you, Junior.
It's still a legend.
Kids don't do drugs.
Yeah. I was gonna say I will dance the shit out of if Madonna calls.
Yeah, me too.
I love that song. But with all of that said, yes, the junior song, the junior remix is over time. It feels like it's a formula that keeps like kind of gets a little played out.
I loved it on Secret. I loved Bedtime Story, but by the time we got to Human Nature, I was kind of like, all right,
Well,
not the best.
Kind of its own flavor.
Yeah. So was it the junior remix of Human Nature that was played at the Goth Club or one of the other ones?
No, it was the original.
Oh, the original. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, after Bedtime Story, Madonna films Evita. And I am getting ready to move to Tampa, Florida. And I hear fucking Don't Cry For Me, motherfucking Argentina, the dance mix everywhere. So fucking gay. So glorious. When I heard it on this compilation, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, I forgot, like, it is campiness at its fucking best.
Oh my God. And it was the only version played on radio. So it was just like this Miami mix.
Right.
Oh my God. It was great. And I think that's like, I was talking to some friends today about Evita and how we stand another suitcase in another hall, and I'd be surprisingly good to you. But like, you know, obviously, Don't Cry For Me Argentina has been done over and over and over and over and over and over again. But I love that she had this mix to it because it made it her own.
Remember on GHV2, she had the fucking album mix, and I'm like, why that?
Who told her?
That was terrible because the Miami mix was the hit.
It was a hit, a top 10 hit, and a #1 club record.
A #1 club record.
Can I just say? Let me tell you the time. You talk about like you listen to this record and you're like, I remember exactly where and when I heard these songs. Let me tell you the exact time and location when I heard this remix. It was approximately 4:30 a.m. I was in the Castro in San Francisco. I was eating at Orphan Andy's, which is a 24-hour diner.
I've been there. I've been to Orphan Andy's.
I mean, who hasn't, my friend? Who has not? And this song came on, and it was just like, boom, 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 boom. It was fucking on. And I like this song in my like if I am sober, I'm like, okay, no. But like you put about 7 drinks into me, and like I tear the shit up. So Cry For Me Argentina. Like 7+ drinks, I will tear the dance floor up.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, we're moving out of Evita into the time when Madonna came back, probably the hardest she ever came back in my life.
The beginning of 4 like glorious years of remixes, glorious years of club records for me.
We're going into a real golden era here.
I think so. You know, a lot of people, you know, they say that the golden era is, you know, like a prayer through Bedtime Stories. A lot of people love the Hard Candy to MDNA remixes. And I'm like, for me, I don't know. I say because like, I turned 21 and I could go to Warsaw here in Miami Beach, or I could go to Twist. I could go to an official club and listen to these remixes that were so fucking glorious. Yep. Like Victor Calderone, Peter Rauhofer, those remixes, Stereo MC, who else? The Sasha remix. These were like really big remixes, and they sounded and then you know we're gonna go into the 3 #1s, but the Club 69 remixes to Skin, the Calderone remixes to Sky Fits Heaven.
Yep.
Round World had some remixes.
That's why in '99 there was that rumor that she was going to release Veronica's Electronica, and it was just going to be the remixes to all the songs on Ray of Light. And I would have done I truly would have been in heaven.
I remember that. Well, I remember the first time I heard Frozen. I literally said, like, I'm never going to listen to another song the rest of my life. Like, this is the best song I've ever heard. This is Madonna being artsier than ever with the fucking black hair. Because by 98, I was kind of like I was older and artsier. I wasn't into pop music as much at that time. And here comes Madonna, like artsy as fuck, with this really deep album and really good songs, really innovative. The videos are beautiful. So I know this is controversial, but at the time I liked the album versions better than I didn't think the remixes quite lived up to the promise of Ray of Light. Now, when I hear them on this compilation, in retrospect, I love the remixes.
The Frozen remix is probably the first Madonna remix that I danced to in a club. And like, I remember like my friend and I, we'd be like outside on the smoking patio or something. Literally that song would come on and we'd be like, we have to get to the dance floor.
Get to the dance floor.
God. I mean, what a great feeling that is, you know? Yes. And like, and then that song comes on and you're getting to dance to it and you're just like, life is so fucking great. So again, Madonna just like hooks you up, you know?
I was so much skinnier when Madonna was releasing club hits.
It's so true.
I was so much skinnier. Well, I was surprised that what else is on here from Ray of Light? We had
Ray of Light version she chose is not my favorite version.
I know. What are you talking about? Oh my God, this is a remix of life.
With
this
that
Sasha
said,
remix.
I like it. I like it because she put a video to the remix of Sasha's Ray of Light remix.
That's right.
And we got to see the edits of the videos, close-ups of her face.
Was it the Twilight remix? That one that's like 8 minutes or 9 minutes? That part, like where she does the last verse and then it goes into that like dance breakdown. That like shit is everything. Oh my God.
But
that's the thing. There's so many good remixes from these eras.
Nothing really
that's a good thing about it. Like she had like, you know, you get people remix one song and it's just one remix and it's and they'll have other remixes, but that remix is just the one that overshadows everything. But you know, when we get into the American Life remixes, those songs over there had 3 great remixes. I was like, who do I choose?
God. That was a good era. They were so artsy.
And so Sharon, it's her. We'll talk about it. We'll get back to Ray Light.
Were you gonna say something about Nothing Really Matters?
Let's just for a second here. Look, let me just say, I mean, like, let's talk about Ray of Light as an era for a second on remixes, because the fact that we're all sitting here arguing over which were the best remixes, that says something about this era, right? Because there are so many great remixes in this era. And I was just saying, the Nothing Really Matters, like the Club 69 remix is such a great remix.
It is.
And like the length of that CD single is like 40 minutes.
Right.
I mean, like it's like a fucking album. I mean, there's so many fucking remixes. And like all those Ray of Light, if you add them all up, that could have been like a quadruple album. I mean,
yeah.
And for me, the Nothing Really Matters remix is the best remix for me personally of the whole album. It just, for me, her and Peter are like great together, and like, it was just like glorious in a club, on drugs or on liquor or on men. It was just amazing.
And I remember when the album came out, I felt like Nothing Really Matters was like the most classic Madonna song over like wheelhouse classic sound. So it makes sense that it was such a good fucking remix.
But the thing is, for me, and it always seems true, Nothing Really Matters to me is a religious song to me. It speaks to me about God.
Mm-hmm.
So what better than to remix a religious song? Because some of the best songs remixed are religious songs. So I was like, this is just, it's heaven.
And like the message of it, like nothing really matters. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need. And that's fucking true.
You think about like the joy and the euphoria you have on the dance floor, right? When you get it, like it doesn't matter if you're feeling substances or not feeling substances. The pure joy and euphoria you have on the dance floor when you connect with a song like that. It's like that's what it's all about, right?
I miss dancing. I miss it.
I dance in my apartment all the time, so I don't feel like I really ever take a break. It's not really on a dance floor, but like my life is my dance floor.
I've got so jaded. I don't know how to dance anymore. Okay,
I think we should all get together and go and do a Madonna night.
Yes.
Oh, I would fly down for that. Definitely.
We should do a Madonna night.
So next we're moving to 2 soundtrack songs, Beautiful Stranger and American Pie. I will say Madonna's version of American Pie is one of my favorite Madonna songs. I fucking love it. It's so nostalgic. she turned it a really long, boring 70s song into like pop perfection. I think the video's gorgeous with her little butt crack. I love how earthy she looks. Like it really spoke to me because I'm from a small town. All her like the lesbian couple, like I just thought it was a fucking beautiful video. And after the seriousness of Ray of Light, I thought Beautiful Stranger was a great pop. Like here's Madonna having a little bit of fun, being a little cheeky again. So these two songs, love the fucking remixes, love the songs. I'm done talking. What do you guys think of these two?
American Life, one of my least favorite Madonna songs ever. However, this version is the only version I find tolerable.
American Pie, you mean? We're on American Pie.
Oh, sorry, American Pie. American Life is also.
It was saying no lies about American Life.
Like the remix is good. I don't actively choose to listen to either, but the remix is good. I actually love the Beautiful Stranger remix. I really love it.
It's a bop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original version sounds too much like the remix of Ray of Light because there's a remix that sounds like the music of Beautiful Stranger.
Oh, okay. We won't even talk about I'm a Sinner.
And she also copied they copied the from She Comes in Colors by Love, which is like a 60s group.
Oh, okay.
It's like literally like exactly. It's like she should credit them as songwriters. It's like the ABBA sample in Hung Up, like that prominent. But anyway.
All right.
I feel like no.
No, go ahead, Paul. Paul, go ahead.
Well, my relationship with Madonna during this time, and I didn't say it during Ray of Light, because I'm like, they'll choke me out. I think it was like she was my mother and father that raised me up until I was high school, but Ray of Light came out my freshman year, like towards the middle. And I remember hearing Ray of Light, not even knowing it was her, and being like, what is this new sound on the radio? Who's this? I thought it was like, Jennifer Page, just another crush. I'm like, oh, it's a one-hit wonder person that's going to songs like that. But it was her. And I still always loved her, but I lost that thing where I was like the gay boy trying to hear a Madonna song because I had friends now and I wanted to drink and do drugs. But I remember Beautiful Stranger specifically being like it's like you like lose touch with a friend, and then you see him and you like pick right back up and you're like, hey, what's going on? Hey, stranger. Yes. No, it was great. We used to go hang out at this place called the Teen Center, and it would make it into the TRL chart. So I would see the video then because I really picked back up in American Life. But I loved her. I thought she looked so good, and it was a great song.
The squat dance that she did for the whole fucking rest of her career started with.
I love it.
I like when she works with William Orbit. I think it turns out really good.
Yeah. Now, Paul, I will tell a story just so you're not embarrassed about the Jennifer Page thing, because I did something similar. This video came out. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't realize Wendy from Wilson Phillips has a solo album. The first time I saw Silent All These Years by Tori Amos. I'm like, oh my God.
Silent All These Years.
Because it had all the harmonies and everything. I'm like, oh my God, that's Wendy from All right.
That's great.
The 2000s come. The 2000s come. A song leaks.
Oh, wait. I forgot to speak. There's a really good remix of Time Stood Still that was played at the clubs. And I really liked the Humpty Vision remix because it was the only one they played on the radio. I never heard the original on radio.
I haven't even seen Next Best Thing. I get scared. I sometimes get scared
Don't
to watch
do
the
it.
ones I haven't seen. But I think Dangerous Game is so good. I'm like,
It's
what
good.
is this concept movie?
It's good.
Fuck,
Yeah.
like, you're such an amazing actress. I mean, whatever, who cares? Because I'm not commenting on her skills at anything. But anyway, Time Stood Still. Okay.
Now, Paul, let's go on a little detour here back to the 90s and the 2000s. Remember a certain blog?
Okay.
Do you remember a certain blog from Tampa where 6 people were on and each one took on a Madonna movie character?
Yes, I know. I know Rebecca Carlson was great.
I was Rebecca Carlson. It was like we made a blog talking shit about everyone in the club scene in Tampa. It was so controversial, but each one, like I was Rebecca Carlson. My friend was All the Way May. There was a Susan. Wasn't there who else? There was Abby.
What's her name? What was the girl from G-Fame Orlando? She was
Megan Schalk.
but what was her like?
Oh, her gimmick.
name for. Yeah, everyone took a different Madonna movie character. And they were the writers of the blog.
It
So
was so
shady,
terrible.
you guys.
People are still mad to this day about, and some of it was really bad. Okay, I did put a naked picture of myself up though. I'm like, look at what Jeremy Gloff did, trying to make it seem like it wasn't me.
You
Okay.
should have. Sell your. Oh, you did. Okay.
I did. I
Smart.
sure did.
Smart.
Okay,
Smart.
it was 2000, and that's when music started really leaking on the internet. And this demo leaked out. That was the next Madonna song. It was called Music. And I thought it was so avant-garde that she was going to call her next album Music. Like that was just such a simple title, but brilliant. I'm like, the follow-up to Ray of Light, and it came really fast. Like I thought after Ray of Light, I thought it'd be longer before next album, but here comes this
She
new
didn't
music.
tour.
Yeah, she didn't tour.
Yeah.
I fucking loved the song Music the first time I heard it. So these are the songs from the Music album. We're getting through here.
Yep.
Music, the deepdish.com radio edit, Don't Tell Me, Thunderpuss, and What It Feels Like for a Girl Above and Beyond, and then Impressive Instant, Peter Rawhofer.
Offer.
Wow.
4 fucking great songs, 4 number ones. Let
I
me
didn't
just
know
say,
that Impressive Instant was the number one. That's, I love that remix, and that was definitely something that I was like, I want this on CD.
Yep.
now let me say, when the fucking What It Feels Like for a Girl video came out with that remix, like for
Amazing.
3 days, I'm like, I was driving my car. I was full of so much rage. I'm like, I'm fucking Madonna in her video. And
Something you're gonna drive into a pole, aren't you?
I am right from the old
While
cunts.
you're visiting old cunts. Oh,
You always wonder how big of a hit the song would have been if she would have done a video to the album version because it's so good.
no.
But I
The
love that
album
fucking
version
remix.
is the flop version to me.
just wish it had,
like
like,
that
Oh,
remix
it's
was
good, though.
everything.
Oh, they're good. They're both good.
I love them both, but that remix is fucking amazing. You
I
got to
wish
admit
it had a
it.
little bit more vocal.
I,
but it is great.
I heard the remix before I saw the video because it premiered at Ultra Fest down here in Miami a couple of months before the song was released. And I was so fucking, because I had already heard from I'm just getting my life. And then all you hear is like, girls can wear jeans. I was like, wait, what? Cut the hair short.
There's
There's
a,
Madonna up in here. So it
There's a-
was amazing.
There's a Thunderpuss remix that's unreal. Like, I guess it's maybe released on a promo now, but like that is the version. It's so good. It's like
Really?
11 minutes long, and it has like everything.
And
Wow.
they played that "Don't Tell Me" remix at all the fucking clubs. I remember that remix
that
everywhere.
remix.
And music too.
I'm shocked. She went with the deepdish.com remix, but what about Hex Hector
Yeah.
remix of Music?
That's the one I heard everywhere. Was
That
Hex
is
Hector.
the only one I heard at the club. So I was like, when she dropped Ballad, like I do love the Deep Dish one, and I love those music remixes. So I listen to that a lot, that single version. But the Hex Hector one is that bitch. and for her not to have like a radio edit to that, no.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I don't know if I love any remix of music better than Music.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean that song
yeah.
is so great, their album version. But
I just think it's so perfect on its own. And
I don't see why they banned the video. Pardon me.
Oh,
I had to say, I don't see why they banned that.
the music video or What It Feels Like for a Girl?
What it feels like. Oh, I'm sorry. What it feels like for a girl
Yeah.
video.
because it was like really
I
violent.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, but anyway.
Nowadays you look back, you're like, that's not shit.
But you're right, though, Sharon. It's kind of untouchable.
Yeah. I will say the original version of Music and the original version of Don't Tell Me, to me, are like, those are the versions that I listen to.
Yeah.
Like, I think the remixes are great, but those are the ones that have like a very special.
Have you guys heard the horrible
Richard
demos?
Vision.
The demos of music where she's like, do you like to tango?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Do
yes.
you like to rumble? Oh, God.
Yes.
All right.
No, I like that. Don't Tell Me remixes everything as well.
They
So
played the Richard
glorious.
Vision mix when I was clubbing, so I'm more used to that one. But
And Amazing had remixes too,
Right.
because
I
they
love
did
that
plan to. She wanted Impressive Instant released as a single.
I think it should have been. I think it
Warner
could've been.
was supposed
wanted
to be
Amazing. So
should've
they she removed Amazing from the tour, so they wouldn't have a video for it, and they released Impressive Instant to clubs only,
And it hit number one.
and it hit number one.
I
Yes.
like to singy. When I heard that, I'm like,
Oh,
fuck
I would have
yes.
loved. I honestly, I'm kind of mad. That's why sometimes I want to cut Warner sometimes in the eyeball or something, because like, you know, them not releasing Into the Groove, them waiting forever and a day to really rescue me, and now here, like, I think Impressive Instant would have been a huge hit for her.
I do too.
And she had flopped. I say not flopped because, you know, What It Feels Like for a Girl went to number 23, but she had just had a number one song with music.
Right.
She had a number 4 song with Don't Tell Me. She flopped with What It Feels Like for a Girl. I think Impressive Instant would have been very reminiscent of the music song. So I think people would have just been like, let's do this. And Amazing to me, I love Amazing a lot, but it is Beautiful Stranger Redux.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't want stuff like, oh, because it could be a hit.
All right.
Plus, they knew they were putting her on tour, so they were just going to bank off of that anyway.
Right.
They
Correct.
probably were like, music is going to be an easy push.
Yeah.
So next we have another soundtrack song with Die Another Day. A great remix. Do you guys like this remix?
Where was the Dirty Vegas remix?
Yeah, that was
That was
a
the
good
one that they used to play, and I was not familiar with the Deep Sky remix. I have to say, I fucking love it. It's really like one of the surprises of the record.
No,
for me.
and she said in her 50 questions that this is one of her favorite remixes.
Right.
That fucking version is great.
And I'm like, girl, but you have Dirty Vegas there. How dare you?
I think she made the right decision here.
Same
Sure.
reaction. Yeah, I had the same reaction. I was not familiar with this remix, and I was like, this is actually a really good remix.
Because I actually don't really
Like,
like
I
Diamond
love
that much. And this remix makes me like fucking love that song.
Yeah, I actually like the original. By the way, the original also got played in the golf clubs.
Yeah, they played at all the hipster clubs in Tampa all the time.
Yeah,
Sigmund Freud, analyze this.
Sigmund Freud, analyze this.
All right. Next, the first thing that leaked was a rap. The album is American Life. We talked about that on another podcast. But I remember at this time I was laxing on buying my CDs. So I went to the fucking University Mall. I think it was FYE Music, where they had like all the CDs were like $20. Remember when they got really expensive?
I know, so expensive.
Yep. But I'm like, I am buying all the American Life CD singles. So all in one day, I bought Hollywood, American Life, Love Profusion, and
Nothing fails.
Nothing Fails. So I bought all 4 CD singles. I listened to all in my car. I'm like, holy shit, these remixes are all amazing. This was one of the best eras for me for Madonna remixes. I thought they were amazing.
It was her most successful era on the charts. She had 8 charting singles, 5 number ones, and 3 other top 10 hits. She started it off with Die Another Day on the charts, and then she ended it with Easy Ride.
Yeah.
Oh
Which
my
is
god,
a great
that remix
remix.
of Easy Ride is insane. Oh,
Exactly.
Crazy Young, right?
We don't,
good.
we don't get the remixes for Easy Ride on this. We didn't hit number 1, but it was a great song. Nobody Knows Me, another set of great remixes on there.
Yeah.
And that one, and then Mother and Father also was a top 10 hit, so it had remixes, and those remixes were good as well.
So what I love that wasn't on this compilation is I liked the kind of rock remix of Love Profusion.
Me
That was on
too. I think
Remixed and
it's
Revisited.
great.
So I'm a sucker for Peter as always. So Love Profusion, I like this remix. I did not like the remix she chose for the other songs, and it wrecked me. The American Life should have been the Club 69 Peter Rahofer remix. Nothing Fails should have been the Lost in Space
yeah.
Peter remix.
But at least she didn't put on the
And
damn
then
Missy
the
Elliott
Hollywood-
remix, though.
Hollywood should have been the Jacques Lucan
Oh my god, from the VMAs.
from the VMAs, because that was the
That was the
a great-
iconic remix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yes.
completely agree with that call.
And that's when Electro Clash was really coming out, and the remixes were very like, you could play like the remix of Hollywood right next to a Peaches song, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever think about what that whole fucking era would have been like if she just was able to put the video out, or just did put American Life out as like the way she did with
Right.
By My Love? because I like to go into the like Jeremy and I once talked about what if there was like, the bedtime stories tour, like the one after Something to Remember, and like what would the opening scene be? I don't know if you remember this, Jeremy.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Survival, and she's being lowered on one of those like beds, like from the when she's reading the books to the kids of the club. But I don't know. I love this whole era. Every remix about it. There's something about it that's different and doesn't feel too commercial, even though what she ended up doing, starting VMA / Britney collaboration, was going commercial. And I fucking wish she just kept going.
Kept the black hair.
But whatever, like Britney blackout, we didn't get that the way we wanted either. So I loved it all. Every single remix from this era and all the bad demos too.
Yeah, can I just say though, I love this remix of Love Profusion.
I do love this one.
Under my skin.
All right.
I do want to give a shout out to the Love Profusion remix.
Well, this was a special era. This was like the height of my Tampa club days, like fucking Castle, Orpheum. Oh my God. And that's when this is an era where the straight clubs are playing Madonna up through like Die Another Day. The straight clubs, the gay clubs, and the hipster clubs. Madonna was, and then especially when we get to Hung Up, that was at every fucking club. Every fucking club. So
Reinvention Tour was the first time I'd seen her too, so it was like
me too, Paul. I cried the whole.
Really, that was your first time seeing her?
Reinvention Tour.
Wow.
I was too poor before that. Just being frank.
I laughed. It was like I feel like I know what when people are like, "Oh, I laugh when I get nervous or I'm uncomfortable," and they laugh. That's what I did. I was like right under where the catwalk came out, and but obviously she opened with Vogue, so she was far away from me on the stage. But it was just I bought the ticket by myself. I rode with my friends, but I sat by myself in my $300 seat, and I was like, "Here we go." I'm sorry, I cut you off, but I just had to. I just fucking love her. Live is good stuff. Well, if you're watching this, Madonna, man,
we love you. We love you, Madonna. Okay, we're done with disc 2. We only have one disc left. We're zipping through this. Our 50 fucking number ones. So, after American Life was not the commercial success that she hoped for,
flop,
which is unfortunate because I wish she didn't care so much and just looked at it as an artistic success. Like, not everything has to be a huge chart hit, but whatever.
Well, I don't know if it'll, erotica nowadays is seen as, underrated and was misseen back then. I don't know if time will be like that for American Life. We will see, but
it seems that this era was just her against the music.
I did not love the American Life era. I think on the podcast I did not say that.
Oh yes, we did. We gave it a 3. Yeah, we were horrible.
I stand by that.
Yeah, I do too.
But these remixes are pretty good. I mean,
they're great. Yeah, definitely.
And especially again, when you hear them in context with everything else, you're just like, even if she had some duds here and there, nobody can have. I mean, she has 50 fucking great songs just on this compilation alone. So it's like I forgive any missteps.
I do feel like culture's in a place right now where people are really exploring sexuality and gender identity. I don't know if anytime soon culture is going to be in a place where they really want to dissect celebrity and, the topics of American life. I just don't feel like we're there as a culture. If anything, we're moving further and further away from that, which leads us to Me Against the Music. Madonna's collaboration with Britney Spears. I remember thinking like, oh, Lord, how's this going to be? And the first time I heard, "Hey, Britney,"
that song deserves so much better in life. That should have been a top 10 hit. That song is good.
I
hate you. Leave her alone.
Did anyone watch the Mad TV? The Mad TV skit?
At this point in life,
this is my cane, and watch where I stick it.
Yeah. Hey, Britney.
At this point in life, I gave up on American Life scared me that I was gonna stop liking everything Madonna did, and then this song came out, and I went, "Uh-oh." She's recovered, but barely sometimes.
Sexy lady.
Oh,
that was also the introduction.
Your soul.
We all know about the Cher voice, but as Paul knows, there's another Madonna voice that came later The grandma voice. And the
Oh,
first time I heard that was in Me Against the Music, where she's like, "Hey, Britney."
Uh-oh. She was hitting her with the cane. Once you carry a cane into the performance, it's kind of all over.
It's all over. They're on the swing. All right. Well, do we need a break before disc 3, or can we go right into it?
Let's go in.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Madonna announced that she was working on a dance album after American Life. And I remember thinking, like, oh, God, this does feel like a little bit of a pandering cop-out. But then a little bit of a sample of Hung Up leaked. And I was like, oh, shit. What the fuck's going on here? And the next 2 years of my life were some of my best memories of Madonna. She was really, like, right by my side. I'm getting a little emotional because that fucking Confessions album meant so much to me. It's still, like, it's a fucking masterpiece from beginning to end. I love every song. The remixes are fucking amazing. This is an amazing era. Like, oh, holy shit. It's so good. So I don't even know how to follow that up. Who wants to jump in and talk about Confessions?
Okay,
Hold on.
I had a really terrible time in my life when that album came out, and thank God for this record because it brought me to the dance floor in my head when I was ready to like not go on. You know, it was like really tough. And however, it's painful for me to listen to this record to this day, but I love it. I mean, it was a really great series of songs. The song Jump, the lyrics are so great.
God.
Yep.
Hung Up, the music is so fucking great. I mean, like, that's a song that, like, when that came out, I literally like would listen to it like over and over and over and over, and I never got sick of it. And it was like one of those songs where, like you were saying, like, I'm just gonna listen to the song forever.
I'm still not sick of it. So these are the songs from Confessions on this compilation. We have Hung Up, Sorry, Get Together, and Jump. So 4 remixes. Wasn't there a 5th single, or was it only the 4? Was there one that didn't hit number 1?
It was Get Together. It was on
Let
the
It Will
remix.
Be. Maybe
the
it
remix
was like
CD.
a single.
The paper faces to the one she did on tour and Confessions.
Let It Will Be.
Let It Will Be.
Yeah,
that's right.
I can tell you.
And then I Love New York also.
Yeah, I think there were
Remix of that
remixes
one.
to I Love New York as well. This one, I found this album online 2 weeks before it was released.
Wow.
So I love this album. I was ready when those bitches, it was finally released. I knew every word. I knew every beat. They were wrecked at the clubs when I had every lyric down.
I was 30 when this came out, so this is me going into my 30s.
Yeah, same here.
I remember I
was
kept
29.
trying to download Hung Up on Kazaa, LimeWire, or whatever.
Bitch,
And I
come
was-
through. The Bears, don't forget Bear Share too, you know.
Bear Share, oh my god. And I was getting this other song, some other artist, which I ended up finding out like years ago on YouTube, like I think maybe I found on Wikipedia page, but every time I would download it, it was a different song, different style, not Madonna, definitely like a whitish sounding kind of singer. And it was a bop, but I was like, what? And then eventually it comes out and you're just like, that Coco promo performance in London is just like,
oh yeah,
that was really where I think started. Because that came out before the album, right?
Yep.
I recently
great.
watched
What a time.
the Hung Up performance from Coachella.
Oh yeah.
And I am so like, first of all, she looks beautiful. Second of all, they're in that tent and everybody's on top of each other, just losing it. Like, I'm like, ah. You see, like, I don't care what anybody says. I have seen this bitch since the 80s, and the reaction that fans give her, I have never seen it for anybody else other than Michael Jackson.
I remember being at the club rolling around to Hung Up. Like, I was still rolling on the ground at the club because of Madonna. 30 fucking years old. Like, when it goes to the breakdown, we were all on the ground in the fucking dirt. Like, ugh. And
Hung Up ends up hitting number 1, but also is the number 1 dance record of the decade.
Yeah, rightfully so.
I mean, nobody could fuck with her. I mean, that was like, you know, sometimes when a performer like wants to see where their dancer is to be sure like everyone's in there, you know, she never did that. And I feel like, you were just talking about the Coachella performance, no phones, like the energy transferal. That's kind of like what she probably needs to be the thing that she needs to be for us. And I feel like, I'm not going to get into it now, but just the whole everything that's been happening, even though there's shimmers of like, yeah, my person, my leader, my like the one who taught me about shit, you know, I feel like it gets lost in all that social media stuff.
Yeah.
But she didn't have to look, because she performed, you know what I'm saying? It was for us.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was she like triumph. And you hear those lyrics, you know, keep on waiting, anticipating, no hesitate. Like, as corny as maybe it would sound, I don't know if it's even her working or doing, that she keeps putting those little ideas in our heads, because it's like, well, most of us do want to give up a lot. I know I do every freaking other day of my life, but I don't. I get over my shit. But then you're like, this woman is really just telling people to like pick yourself up, and time is precious. Don't waste it.
Yeah.
And anyway, sorry, but to hijack that, but I love this era. It was like, we all needed it.
Yeah. Let me say a little side note. We won't go into this, but that fucking Coachella documentary was the most annoying fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, back to Madonna. Those people just really thought they
doesn't get a remix. It's just an extended version.
Right.
Because
it
doesn't really need a remix.
It doesn't need a remix.
And then we get legends, Pet Shop Boys, in the Sorry remix.
Oh my God, so good.
Ay, Dios santo, just to hear his vocals. I'm sorry. And I'm like, yes!
Mm-hmm.
Another glorious remix in the clubs.
And you know, didn't you feel like Jump was kind of a tribute to Pet Shop Boys a little bit with the sound? The original?
Yeah. I heard that.
Pet Shop Boys are one of my favorites of all time. So the fact that they worked with Madonna, like officially, because they had written Heart for her specifically, and then turned it down. Like, it's great that they like finally got together, and then she used that version of the tour, which was awesome too. But hear Neil Tennant's voice with Madonna is like heaven for me.
Yes. And after the Britney collaboration, this is when I started getting worried about collaborations with Madonna. So when Pet Shop Boys and Madonna did the collaboration, it was fucking awesome. I was like, phew.
So good. So good.
Like, to me, like the Pet Shop Boys remix is like the iconic remix of Sorry. And so like having this like officially on a record is like
that's great.
Yeah. This is like cementing that as iconic remix. Like these remixes to me, like I will say like the Get Together remix is nice, but like to me, like I've said this when we did the actual Confessions like podcast, like I really think that song is a perfect song. Like I literally think it's a song. Like it's like I don't think anybody could have improved upon it. So it's a good remix, but like I just think it's a perfect song. Like I actually literally would not choose to listen to anything other than the original.
I agree with that one.
I actually love the remix of Jump, but like I also like Jump to me is so special to me. Like the message of it, the like I still get chills when I listen to Jump.
But
you know?
But that hideous wig was a no in the video.
Okay,
oh girl.
like we all feel that.
Finally enough wigs.
Finally.
Yeah.
I mean, like
finally enough love, y'all.
like I think we can all agree that the wig was probably a problem, but the message of the song is like
it's great.
Yeah.
And of course, I can't help but think of Devil Wears Prada when I hear Jump. So
me too.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. That they did Vogue and Jump in that.
Yeah, Vogue and Jump, but Jump for me is more prominent.
Yes, I love it. Yes, that it sticks in my mind too. Absolutely.
So after this amazing era,
Stop.
tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. You hear dun, 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 dun.
Because I know some people here hate that song. And also, by the way, not my favorite moment. I actually kind of like this remix.
I like the remix. So we have two songs from Hard Candy. We have 4 minutes and we have Give It To Me.
Give It To Me.
And of
Give
course,
It To Me is that bitch.
yeah,
Will forever be that bitch. That remix is everything. Well, because the song is everything to begin with.
The studio version.
Like,
of
I think
that, the
I
album
think we all
version.
agreed that was classic Madonna,
Oh
and
my
that
God.
remix is on point.
That everything that song could not go wrong.
The album version of that song is insane. I mean,
Yes!
the chorus is like.
It's like
Yep.
how like I mean, like that was like Madonna like bringing her A+ game plus.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's why it's classic Madonna. It's truly one of those, like, this is the Madonna record that we get in every album. But
I
this
do
is the
remember.
classic.
I do remember "Miles Away" at the club. I know it didn't
Miles
hit number
Away
one, but I
2 had a
remember it.
remix, but it did not hit number one. I'm trying to think. That might have been the end of anything that else came out from that album, which is sucks because I would have loved to have heard, like, remixes to
Beat
She's
Goes
Not
On.
Me,
Yeah.
and The Beat Goes On. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Devil Wouldn't Recognize You would be great as like some kind of deep house mix. But
Oh, I
anyway.
love that song.
Not me. This was an era where I was like, Madonna, you are scaring me. Because like I was already not feeling good about American Life. And then Confessions like brought it back. And then it was like, okay, now it's gonna just be like hit and miss when she comes out with something.
Yeah, this was the first album where because she had that song, the acoustic song with Pharrell. What was it? It was so bad.
Spanish one.
Hey You came out before
Oh,
Hard
yeah.
Candy. It was so bad. And then Hard Candy was a little concerning, but then she left Warner Brother Records and had a compilation with 2 new songs, and one of them is on this remix. And this song at the time felt like a little bit of a throwaway, but this song gives me fucking life now, and I consider it a classic. Celebration. I love
Yeah.
Oh my
Celebration.
God, this is another, like,
Celebration was
people will
fun.
fight for these remixes because I like the Benny Benassi remix, but a lot of people like the other remix, hardcore too.
I wouldn't have chosen the Benny Benassi, and I love Benny Benassi.
I like the album version, honestly.
I like Revolver better than Celebration.
Oh.
The original.
Let me tell you
Thank you,
that
actually.
hold on one
Okay,
second. That remix won a Grammy for David Guetta. It was a really good remix.
For that one,
My life's a revolver.
I'm fucking sorry. That first photo that I had in the background during our first thing,
Yeah.
that was from that was the picture I took when she went with the gun at the MDNA tour. I mean, I just couldn't even believe that whole moment in my life. But anyway,
Paul, we're
I
on
could
disc
not.
3. We're on disc 3. Do you need a third picture for the third disc?
Oh, I know. Well, you know what? Yeah, because when we were going like into Evita, I don't really want to. I don't want to miss any part of this. So no, I can't. I can't leave.
So
We love
Celebration. When she ended the Pride performance with Celebration, it gave me life earlier this year. I thought
Yes, it did.
I love that song.
See, another good thing for her this year.
Yeah.
That Pride was everything. People thought she couldn't move, and she looked good.
She looked good.
Material Wall.
Yes,
Oh,
bitch.
God,
I'm ratchet. I love me some
It's
saucy,
fun.
so I'm good.
It's fun.
I love Material Girl.
Same.
That's someone she would have hung out with back in her early New York days, I feel like.
Of course,
Okay,
she
Like her,
was.
oh, guys, hold up! I'm going there. I think that she should be on the Housewives. I don't know which one, but that to me is like her Housewives song. I'm not fancy. I just like fancy shit like that. I'm like, are you the Countess? But I'm all in, 100%.
I'm all in,
And
too.
she should do a season. Okay, I'm sorry. Because if I don't remember to say that during us getting that era,
So
Could
like,
you
I'm
imagine
on a-
somebody of her stature doing some shit like that? That's just
Yes.
amazing.
It's true. It's a ballsy
you
move.
should-
Like I'm like a
Like,
I'm
look
on
at Mariah. She had her, and it
you
wasn't.
should do it
cute.
too.
Sharon, I feel like you got
Bad.
something to. Sharon's got something to say about Material Girl. Give it to
Well,
us.
Something good.
I'm on a Latto kick right now, and Latto did a song with she did a song called Booty with Saucy Santana, and like that's also not like probably.
Oh my
any-
God! Shake what your doctor gave you. Yes, ma'am.
you know, it's good, but like I don't know, it's like it's not the track that I would choose.
Oh no, ma'am! It's because you need to let your inner ratchet person come on out, girl.
know.
Because that is a bop
that's
and a
my problem,
half. And I like Lotto sometimes. So
You need to pop that cooch. Go get the Dollar Tree wig that Madonna wears at Pride.
But
And
the thing is, for me, it works for me because I grew up in Miami and everything is Two Live Crew down here. So all that booty music I grew up with. So Saucy is perfect. So if I hear Saucy, the City Girls, that is the ratchetness that just gives me life. And
Yeah,
I need
I
it.
mean, and I get that, but apparently I was just like I need some schooling in the ratchet.
no schooling needed here. I'm a
No, ma'am.
nasty asshole. Okay,
Exactly. I'm a
speaking
gutter
of nasty
bitch.
hoes, Celebration came and went. The first time I heard that was in at a club in Chelsea in New York City. The day it came out, I was visiting my friend Peter. Remember Peter? Do you remember him, Paul? My friend Peter.
Probably saw you on that trip because
Yeah, Jeffrey, you saw me on that trip.
because I have the Celebration CD signed by Mr. Brainwash.
Right.
Oh, wow.
When you came, yeah.
Is that where me and Jill performed together at that club? Lucky
It might have
Chase?
been. That was the weekend I met you, right? At that thing, or was it another time? And then
We met a couple times.
Yeah, I don't remember, but
That's all a haze.
I have photos of all of it, so I can look it up at one point.
Look it up. So Madonna went away for a couple of years. Lady Gaga came out, and Madonna, her first new music came out in 2012 of the 2010s. It was an album called MDNA, and we have how many songs from that album on here? We have "Give Me All Your Lovin',"
Ugh.
"Girl Gone Wild," and "Turn Up the Radio." We have 3
Radio.
songs from MDNA.
And all 3 remixes I live for. I'm once again ratchet, so I love LMFAO a lot. So I love that. But the other 2, Turn Up the Radio is so underrated. That is a bop and a half. This remix.
I do love that song.
I will
I like that
Everything.
album version. So
It's a
much
great-
better.
I don't know. I
I
actually
love the album version.
I love that remix. I have to co-sign on that.
Oh my God. And you know, she just released the video to it this week. So on Monday, I had my little blunt with me and I danced all over the living room on repeat because it was so good. It really is. It's really good. And of course, the Girl Gone Wild
Oh,
that
we
I
love
saw in
that.
Ultra,
Right?
the Avicii mix, which hopefully when we get these reissues, we get our Avicii Rebel Heart mixes.
Now,
But
I felt like LMFAO were the apex of the worst. Like I just feel like things got.
I agree.
Can I give a theory that's controversial and it's gonna take like 3 minutes, but let me just have this time.
please.
Paul can vouch for me because he knew me. They used to call me fucking Natalie Merchant at the club because I'd be out at the club and be all dour faced like, you guys are all. This is so stupid. We need to be more politically active. Remember how bitchy I was? Because I'm like,
Yeah, but I loved you.
I'm like,
You were
this stupid
cynical, but I
Kesha,
liked it.
this stupid Kesha. This is so shallow. LMFAO shots. You guys are gonna pay for how stupid things are. So
What
now,
are you talking about?
I feel like
hey, you're so
all
horrible
that-
because shots and
all that 2010, 2011 bullshit is when all these Trump people started sneaking in underneath because no one was paying a fucking attention. It's all Kesha's fucking fault and LMFAO.
You know, I love these kind of theories.
My Cuban King Pitbull too, because he's
Yeah,
all over.
he-
that.
He's
No,
to blame.
never. I would never come for Pitbull in a bad
Oh,
way.
no.
Ever. He is so fucking handsome.
Yes,
And I
he
don't
is.
care if he heard me say
It's
that.
those
I'd be
Cuban
like,
good looks.
Okay, let me get off my soapbox. I'm blaming everything that's wrong in the world on Kesha. Okay,
I love
I know, but let
MDNA
me
though.
tell
I
you.
think
That era around Kesha, that Blow song was everything at a club too.
I
I like
my
We Are Who We
God.
Are.
Oh,
I think this is what
Yo,
I saw in the
child.
clubs.
I don't know, Kesha. I'm sorry. You know, she's gone through a lot in her life, but
you think with all she went through, she could have come out with a better comeback single than that fucking spray paint shit. Okay,
great.
Sharon has something to say. Let's get back on track.
All right. So a couple of things. Number one, generally I agree with where you're going. With that said, Party Rock Anthem, I'm sorry. Like that is it is like legitimately one of the greatest fucking party songs of all time. Sorry, not
No,
sorry.
don't be sorry. Don't be
Sorry,
sorry.
Sharon, I love you. I think you're adorable. You like know how to reel it in, and you're
No.
right too.
I was
And
like, don't be
we
sorry,
need to-
ma'am. I am
You know
there
the
for
worst?
you.
Do you know what the
Don't be
worst song was?
sorry.
That
I think you're great.
the worst apex of it all was not Kesha. We'll get that one tonight and everything over.
All right, yes.
How
that's right.
dare you?
That was like
Listen,
the
this was first of all, this
You
was her
wanna
divorce
hate on
album.
something?
This was
Let's
her
talk about-
official divorce album.
let's get back to
you know?
Madonna,
She,
right?
like-
Okay, Madonna's divorced.
You want to hate on something? Let's talk about fucking blurred lines. Okay, let's talk about
I
something
stand
that's
Robin Thicke.
like genuinely cringe. You know, like
I know. I bop that so hard. No, and I scream it to the top of my lungs like I'm a
Oh, we all-
misogynistic
we
trash.
all did. And then we're
I
like,
didn't. I was
wait a
Natalie
minute.
Merchant. I was fucking Natalie Merchant at the club.
Thank
You say Natalie
Thank you
Merchant,
very
I'll think,
much.
what? Is he 10,000 Maniacs?
I was our serious artist. Okay, because I had a shirt that I used to wear at the club where it was like a picture of her. And she was like really serious looking. She's like, you guys look alike. Okay,
Okay,
MTNA was a divorce album.
hold on, but give me all your love. And like the LMFAO remix, I will say is not the best remix of that song, right? The one that they play, I can't remember the name of it. The one that that she did with live with the drum, like
Oh
with
yeah,
the drum line. Oh my god, that's the one that I love.
I don't mind that song. I think it's kind of fun.
I mean, it is, but like I don't know, like it's like oh my god, like the one that I listen to repeatedly is the one that she like I listened to the live version that was in the tour with
That was better.
Oh god, that's the one I love.
How do you think MIA feels about her Madonna collaborations in retrospect?
Oh wow.
Like, do you think she puts on B-Day song is like, oh girl?
B-Day song
If
is
I was,
such
like-
trash.
By myself stoned, and no one was around to see me enjoy it, I could have a moment with birthday song because it's my birthday every day.
No, ma'am. I'm stoned and I wouldn't do that. Okay, let's not. You're
I'm
fucking up
walking
your
around with my
high,
joint
please.
and I'm not listening to that.
No,
Jeremy
ma'am.
put a
Fucking
birthday
up a
song for
high.
my birthday.
I really love MIA a lot. It just, Nikki ate her in that remix in Give Me All Your Love, and Nikki ate her live. That's why they replaced her, as it seems, and then the whole Super Bowl scandal BS. So I don't know if they're in good terms, but MIA alone is a legend and it's great. But her time with Madonna was not it.
So let me say something about this later part of the album, from here to the end. Hearing these songs removed from the ridiculous antics and some of the cringy visuals and just the songs themselves, one after another. The songs at the end of the album were just as good as the beginning. I think these songs on this.
I totally agree.
Oh, and you know
She
what?
wanted
Right.
Fallen Free. She wanted Fallen Free.
You know,
to be a
she could have
single.
released to the clubs Addicted. And
Oh, yeah.
that would have been
Yeah.
another number one hit.
Yes,
That was my
love
favorite
For
song
that.
from that
impressive
whole era.
instant.
Addicted.
DNAMD.
That track,
It's
I
so
said
good.
it, like, that track is like the one track in that era that I think is like held the mantle from Confession.
Yeah.
I love that track.
So at the castle in Tampa, they used to play the remix video of Girl Gone Wild with Madonna's stupid arm things and Ultra, like doing the thing. And we can think it's cute, but that's not the best visual to go with that remix. So hearing this remix away from those visuals really made me love it. Just as a piece of music, away from thinking Madonna saying, "Who here wants some Molly?" Like I don't want to think of that when I think of this Girl Gone Wild.
You're so horrible.
Even
And
that
it's
too,
true.
like,
I
like-
know I must be this Madonna apologist, but I thought she was so cute and all that stuff.
I
and I
love when
love
she
that.
wears the
Have
bump
you
it, though,
seen
the-
Molly?
Yeah, the bump was great.
I love the bump it of the
bump it hair,
It is.
it's-
I love it too.
Like,
It is really cute.
Gang Bang needed to be a single. They could have anyway. I don't work for a record label, so what decisions can I make?
Apparently, either did everyone at Interscope either.
But the thing is, as many times, like I said when we spoke about the album, as many times as we would want songs to be released, the songs that should have been hits, like Turn Up the Radio for other people, was not working for her.
If that would have been the lead single, though, I think it could have been a hit. Instead of Give Me All Your Love, like going to the Super Bowl with Turn Up the Radio.
Yeah,
It could be. I knew, like, when the Super Bowl was happening and Give Me All Your Lovin' was released as a single with the video and all that stuff, she had like a little teaser, and Turn Up the Radio was one of the 3 songs that she had released that week.
I remember that.
And I'm like, this is a hit. And no, it was a flop.
Well, the video, they spent like $5 on that fucking video.
Oh, but I love that video, girl. She's showing her
it
titties.
stood the
She's having a
test
good
of time. Oh wait, do you mean Turn Up the Radio or the
Turn
one
Up the
with-
Radio video, I thought was kind of cheap.
I
read
thought it
about
was
her
so
titties in that
cute.
video.
And she was in
They're all
Italy
here.
and she was just having a good time with the youngins.
I thought the Give Me All Your Love video had some fierce Madonna moments.
Yeah.
But so this era is when I stopped hearing the Madonna songs anywhere else but the gay clubs. Because you weren't hearing like Girl Gone Wild anywhere but the gay club in my experience.
That's correct.
So after MDNA, does anyone have any final thoughts on the MDNA remixes? We are moving into Rebel Heart, which Madonna recently said in her 50 Questions. It was her most stressful album because too many guests.
The lies she tells.
Well, and
it
also
was those leaks.
It leaked. I mean, but imagine you work like for a year and a half on a project and it leaks like before you even announce it. That's fucked up.
No, but it leaked like 800 songs. I was like, this bitch has 800 songs.
I know.
No, but like, I mean, but imagine, so now that you can't use any of them because they're all leaked. I mean, that fucking sucks.
And that original Living for Love, that was the more house 90s throwback, was so fucking amazing. So we have Living for Love, we have Ghost Town, and Bitch and Madonna. I loved these remixes. In the
Those
context of
remixes
just
are
the
really
album,
good. There is a Diablo remix of Ghost Town, which is really good as well. But the remixes, that remix to Living for Love, oh my God, it is glorious. Those
glorious.
Oh my God.
And hearing that remix away from her falling off the stage cape thing, like just hearing the song itself was amazing, honestly, because there were so many moments that went with these songs visually where I'm like, ugh. So hearing them as pieces of music on this compilation was actually a revelation. Sharon, you had something to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, first of all, the Ghost Town remix is so good. So good.
Very good.
And the other thing I was gonna say is Bitch on Madonna, like I've talked about this. Like it's not like anywhere in the calculus of like on the top of my list of favorite songs, but like it's a great remix.
Yeah.
It is a good.
It's always been a good remix. I'm like,
remix.
I guess this was the era where I stopped like kind of getting her remixes. Or I mean, like if I heard it like coincidentally, I would be interested. Or if it was a song I liked, but Bitch on Madonna, I hated that song. I was like, what is she thinking? It is. It is. Yeah. And again, not seeing it with the visuals or whatever.
I am someone that collects hard copies. So I want to say as a collector of the remixes, once you switched to Interscope, they didn't sell the remixes commercially as much. You had to go to they'd have these promo parties where you get the 10-track CD single, and I have them all. They're now pretty expensive on Discogs, but they had like the Turn Up the Radio. They had a release party for it, so you got those remixes. There was a Bitch on Madonna, a Give Me All Your Love, and I think of a Girl Gone Wild, maybe. But there was a Living for Love one too. So you actually had to go to like these parties. I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to go out on a Tuesday night, but I want to get this Madonna promo CD. So did anyone else collect any of those or get any of those?
I did.
You got them?
Yeah.
You had to go to all the parties, right?
No, in New Orleans, it's not very big. We don't have it's not like New York City where the bars are very good, very big. So what I did was on Instagram, there's other Madonna people that I follow, and we traded. So
okay.
I got something from someone from California, and I gave him something that I had here that I got from someone else in that.
I do have to say that Tampa does have a pretty decent sized gay club scene. So luckily we do get most of the parties here.
Well, I've been there one time. Forgot the name of the area where the gay bars are at. It's
Ybor City.
Yeah, that's it.
Was it popping when you were there?
Well, it was in 2008, and I saw George Michael.
Oh.
When he was touring.
I was at that tour. That was in Tampa.
Yes.
You were at the show together, you guys. I love it.
Right?
I've never seen a show like that where it's like he plays for an hour and then it cuts up for 5 minutes and then he comes back on stage where he takes a little break in that. But it was a pretty good show. But I like Tampa, but you need a car to go anywhere over there because everything's so far away. Everything.
So I feel like the Rebel Heart remixes kind of were a great representation of the era. Like Living for Love, this remix was just as fierce.
Actually, better than representation of the era.
Yeah.
Because the era was a hot mess, and these remixes are pretty slick.
I feel that Living for Love remix is just as hot as some of the stuff from Bedtime Stories. Honestly, like
Yeah.
hot. All right, so we're moving into the last era. Should I go get my eye patch or what? We have how many songs we have? 3 songs.
Four songs.
Oh yeah. We have a Medellin featuring Maluma. We have I Rise. We have 2 remixes from Tracy Young. We also have Crave. And then it ends, of course, with Honey Dijon's remix of I Don't Search, I Find.
Perfect way to end. Just want to say.
Madam X, my least favorite Madonna album. These 4 remixes, just as good as anything else she's ever fucking done.
You know,
the version
that's why
of
she's
I
the queen
Rise.
of dance.
Right.
Like, first of all, Medellin is great at the clubs.
Yeah.
And then I Rise ends up winning Tracy Young a Grammy, and she becomes the first female DJ remixer to win a Grammy.
And that remix
Wow.
brings the joy into the song that was missing
Yeah.
from the album version.
Yeah.
Like that's a great fucking anthem as a remix. And
Is that
Crave,
the one that they used to close Madam X tour? Yes.
no,
No, not I Rise. I'm sorry.
With
I'm
that
It was
thinking
Crave.
Crave was the one they used.
And
Yes.
that version is insane. Like that version, I didn't really like the album version, and that remix is like everything. And it's finally,
everything.
Like it's like, oh my god, this is like you were saying, you know, as good as anything she's ever done.
Yeah.
With her grills in when she does her vocals.
Crave is a great example of when we were actually doing the Madam X podcast, which is like if you didn't know it was Madonna, you just like you separate yourself from knowing who she is. Like it sounds so current.
It does.
It really does. And you have to actually
That's
divorce
the hit that got away because she's an old bitch.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
as simple as
totally,
that.
absolutely. If somebody young did that exact remix, it would have been a huge hit. I totally agree.
And there's the element where she's almost penalized because she's Madonna.
Right.
Which is just stupid. I mean, but the world, you know, that's another podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I Don't Search, I Find. I felt like the remix wasn't that much different from the album version.
Of course. I don't top, I bottom. Yes,
I'm
that song
sorry.
is
Oh my
everything.
god.
I'm sorry.
It had
It's
this like
good.
early 90s. It had this thing that almost felt reminiscent of like Rescue Me or Vogue though
Yeah.
to it. You know, it felt like early 90s house. And it just felt like, and I think that's what's going on right now. The kids are like discovering it all and social media. I mean, she's pumping that ballroom kind of thing, I think. I don't know. I mean, I never go out. I wish I could go out. I don't know what the Boston gay scene or dance scene's like, but I hope she's being played.
You know what's interesting? And just to talk about Madonna a little bit, like that Paper Magazine photo spread just came out. And I remember seeing pictures of Madonna's at the club in the early 80s. I'm like, oh my God, those are all the people I want to hang out with. Then when I saw that Paper Magazine spread, I'm like, oh my God, those are all the kind of people I want to avoid. Like,
Yes.
I thought she looked so good. That pink hair was everything.
this sounded like it was like every rich fucking
Genesis
fashionista that can afford rent in New York City that dresses weird.
You know what I'd
get
like
the
to know
fuck outta
though?
here.
I would like to know that
She's
she's
such a
going
hater.
out and she's like, I am gonna go out and dance in New York City, and it's not like a photo shoot or like sure there's gonna be a bodyguard or security, but like I would like to think that if she's got the insomnia still, she, you know, on any given night I could go to New York with my friends and just end up in the same club as Madonna hanging out like in a corner. I don't know that that's a real thing beyond like a magazine shoot, but
Oh my
I
god!
wouldn't be
And then
surprised.
the premiere for this album, which they turned Central Park into a roller rink.
Oh, that was cool. With Nile Rodgers.
Oh, with Nile Rodgers, and then the follow-up interview
Yeah, that
with
was
Nile
nice.
Rodgers and Madonna. Like this has been such a great couple of months for her. Like she's like, "Oh, I'll work with you again." I go, "If we get like a virgin, no."
they should have performed Angel.
They should have. I can see it in your house. So,
Jeremy, I'm gonna be like,
Madonna.
Madonna.
So I felt like Honey Dijon did put some great touches on her remix.
Yeah,
so
but
I
it
know
didn't need. You just did not need to change it around.
didn't need too much.
Like emphasize that you're serving 1992 house because
And
this
missed
is what it sounds like,
opportunity.
1992 house, and
Missed
just give it a good extended life.
Jeffrey, what do you think is a missed opportunity?
No remix of God Control.
Oh, that could have been good.
That's a huge missed opportunity because that would have been a huge club hit.
Yeah,
I think. And
I
then they
think it
had
would've
that
been.
club message, which would have been hopefully more effective. I think I Rise is one of those like, sit down and quit trying so hard. Like you can't sit with us. Like it's not like it tries to be an anthem and it's just not because it's so contrived.
Okay.
In my opinion, but I mean,
Paz Gustoso is it's my favorite song on the album, and a need is so big right now that if there was a way to like,
Oh my God, why didn't they release it? Because even if it would have been a flop here, it would have been huge in Europe and South America. Like nobody, like that song is
I
everything.
think they should make a video. I think artists should make videos for albums from 10 years ago. I know that might sound weird, but there's never a bad time to
Like
promote
I
a song.
love,
Like
I
Love Don't
some
Live
of
Here
the-
Anymore, the Something to Remember video to the Like a
Yeah,
Virgin.
why not?
Yeah, actually.
Cher voice is ever present in that one. Okay, we have to rank this record.
Okay, yes. So, friends, thank you for meeting for a robust discussion of Madonna's 50 #1 dance hits. We are threatening next year, Phonogenics season 2, after I take a little break for the holidays. We are threatening to come back and talk about Janet Jackson. Who is on board for that?
I'm hit and miss.
I like Janet.
Any specific era or
All of them. We're gonna do album by album.
Oh my god, I have to go through my crate.
Yeah, oh, good times. That's the best.
Young Love. I like Come Give Your Love to Me. Yeah, I'll be there. I might not say as much, but I'll be there if that's okay.
And we did toy around with an erotica 30th anniversary, so we'll talk about that a little bit. There's been a lot of requests online for us to redo the erotica
And we
podcast
should. And
Some-
we should. And
should we
will
meet
still
next month?
burn-
to celebrate the
Some
30th
songs.
anniversary. Because I feel like we need to give that album. We really didn't give it the love it deserved. We kind of.
I give it love. I definitely love that record. So I definitely give it love. I know I definitely gave American Life hate.
I feel like the podcast we went in a direction that we usually don't go in. with love. But erotica was such a pivotal album to me that I want to give it the podcast that it deserves for my life. So shall we meet next month?
Yes.
Yeah.
We will talk about it then.
Yes.
All right. Finally, enough love. Does anyone have any thoughts before we do the ranking? All right.
Well, I guess I'll say my thoughts in the ranking.
Okay. Scale of 1 to 10. We're going to start with my upper left, David.
From Madam X to what again?
Oh, from Madam X to 1, as Sharon says.
From 1 to Madam X, right?
No,
Or
from
no.
Mad Max to 10, I thought.
Yeah, from Madam
Yeah,
X to 10.
that's what it is.
Oh, I missed you all. I missed you all so much. David, from Madam X to 10, what do you give Finally Enough Love?
I give it a perfect 10 because even though there's some of the remixes I don't like, it's still it's a perfect body of work. Like, like I said, this is for the new generation. These are for millennials and Gen Z to be like, oh, wait, this is some good shit. And you know what? It's been a couple of years with COVID and whatever monkeypox and stuff like that, and people are just starting to now really head out again,
Right.
and go to a club and stuff like that. And this is the perfect record to play at the club, getting ready for the club, leaving the club. So this is a 10.
All right. Jeffrey Dicker.
I'm also going to give it a 10. And it's a perfect representation of dance music from the 80s till present day, so you get like, this is like a teaching record that like people for future generations can learn like what was going on through the sound, and it's such an impressive body of work that even the not so great songs, she has 50 fucking great songs, and then not all her hits are on there, and then she's got some great deep cuts. Not every song, but to have that many great songs, like that's like a hell of a fucking accomplishment.
Yeah.
So despite all the madness and zaniness around her life, it's a really incredible accomplishment, and so it's a perfect 10 for me.
Hell yeah. All right, Sharon. Finally Enough Love.
So I'm going to go with the number that was originally in my head when you asked, so 9. But finally
Enough love.
a record worthy of her legacy on the dance floor.
Yeah. All right, Eric. Finally, enough love. Scale of 1 to 10.
I give it a 9 also. The only reason why is I love this cover, but I don't like this cover to it because I don't like the close up of her face.
Yeah.
I don't like that cover on it. That's the only reason why. But all the remixes are really good. I like
That's a
them.
good point because like the Crayola like unibrow, I agree. I'm not a big fan of
But
that.
I think this is bad cover art too, to be honest.
You don't like it.
It's really
I like it.
like rudimentary editing to me, but whatever.
I like that cover better, but doesn't.
This one's kind of celebration-ish to me a little bit.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, Paul.
I mean, the reflection in the glasses of the album covers is like, oh.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Paul, finally enough love. Scale of 1 to 10.
The 50 songs. Well, I would give it a 9, but here's why. Because finally enough love don't live here anymore. I think that I hold a resentment for whatever I would have paid for the rights to have that included in the very overproduced Rebel Heart DVD. But the thing is, same with Causing a Commotion. I was like, yeah, I'm just like, but I understand maybe it's because 50 is like a safe number. But like, if she had 14 more hits, it could have been like 64 number ones because she's 64, whatever. Like, but I, Queen all day, but a 9 just to not, whatever, who cares? She's amazing, but 9.
Oh. All right, and it's my time. I feel like this album is just what Madonna needed to do right now. Unexpectedly perfect. It's the right place, the right time. It's a very emotional trip down memory lane like a Madonna album never has been, a compilation. I mean, hearing these songs back to back to back, I thought of Madonna as a lot of things, but I never thought of her as my companion on the dance floor through all the life experiences. Like I always thought of her in my life, but she literally was at the club with me on the dance floor for all these songs, through all these different clubs, through all these years. I think this is a really, really important album. I give it 10 out of 10. I give it a 10. So there we go. We did it. Finally enough love. I love you all.
Finally,
Oh, it's been 84 years.
Well, great to see you all, and I will see you when we give Erotica the podcast that it deserves in October.
Finally,
all right.
Enough love.
Finally enough love. I'll see you all soon.
Did you do it?
Okay.
You know I did it.